101.9 The Mint, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome in, everybody. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, and we are live here on 100.9 The Mint. Kyle Sandel behind the glass, as always. Oh, it is hate week. No. That's a good thing. It is hate week. The Cleveland Guardians are in town. This is the most important six-game stretch of the Tigers' entire season. These next 6 games, all of which are at home. First 3 against Cleveland, then 3 against the Chicago White Sox. By the end of this homestand, the Tigers could see themselves in a playoff position. We'll get to that. We'll get to a Tuesday Tower here momentarily. We're going to choose one Tiger to heat up for this homestand. A couple different good choices. We're working a little college football playoffs into this because another update yesterday. Here's one thing that the college football doesn't want to do. Let's rework it how we want it. The college football playoffs. But in honor of Hate Week, Kyle, I want to kick off today's show by just telling our audience, some things that I just can't stand. Number 1, banana ball. I think it's a mockery to baseball. For low IQ, mouth-breathing, doom-scrolling goldfish brains. I hate it. I think it's a joke. And I am petrified as to what next summer is going to look like when regular Major League Baseball is not on and banana ball is the only thing we got. I have a feeling it's going to steal an entire generation of young baseball players away from the real sport. I'm petrified. I do not like this sport. I think it's a joke. That's number 1. I would rather watch the Real Housewives of Bay City than watch a single inning of banana ball. Number 2. People who are late, or when people are late. I hate that. We invented time 5,000 years ago in Egypt. If they can figure out what time you need to be places, you can also figure out what time you need to be places. If we say, let's meet at 6:30, that doesn't mean let's meet at 6:45. It means let's meet at 6:30. If we just decided, well, we'll start the show around 9 o'clock. No, that's not how that works. Be on time to things. If you are given a time, be there before and don't show up late because it shows you just don't care. I hate goofing off at the gym. Come on, lock in. Not the place to be goofing off. I hate when people post an entire length of their concert on their story. If I wanted to go to the concert, I would have bought a ticket. I hate Dasani water. I hate when teams run goal line fades on first down. Waste of a play. Unless you have a Hall of Fame receiver on the other side. Waste of a play. Run a real offense. Lazy stuff by offensive coordinator. I hate people who drive below the speed limit. Come on, some of us have places to be. Don't want to be late. The guy who doesn't pass or play defense and pick up basketball, you got to do one of those things, man. If you're going to be a shot chucker, at least play some defense. That's the worst type of person to play with. I hate when you lay down after the bar and your head is spinning and everything's just kind of revolving around you. That's the worst feeling in the world. I hate daylight savings. I hate when people call me buddy. Please don't do that. I hate the final season of Lost. I hate what HBO has done to Rhaenyra Targaryen. I hate cooking. I tried to get into it. I just don't like it. I hate taking a 2-for-1 when it's a terrible shot simply because we have to take a 2-for-1 here. I hate when people say Jordan never lost in the finals. It's the most overused point in sports debate history. It's like saying The Office is better when Steve Carell is in it. Yeah, I know. obviously. I hate losing to the Green Bay Packers, and you know what else I hate? I hate the Cleveland Guardians, who are coming to town this week for a 3-game series. I hate these guys, Kyle, and I can't wait to turn on the TV tonight and borderline more than wanting the Tigers to win, just not wanting Cleveland to lose. I can't stand losing to these guys, and we've already lost 5 games against them this year in a grand total of 5 games that they've played against them this year. Supposed to be 6. One of them had a rain delay, postponement. There'll be a doubleheader later on in the year. Not with this series, though. We still have not beat this team this year, and it keeps me up at night. I hate these guys, Kyle.
I hate Cleveland, man. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I absolutely despise this team. I love how you ended that. I figured at some point it was going to get back to the Cleveland Guardians, the team that has just been in our nightmares for the last couple of seasons. And we got a mini dose of revenge last year. I think that also added to my hatred of Cleveland because it was a collection of their fans saying, well, I would still rather be the Guardians than the Tigers.
Yeah, I'd rather win the division and hang a banner than...
We had no expectation. We came all the way back and won the division. You literally lost to us in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, that's a good point. They got to hang a banner.
It's not a good point. I was in Cleveland very recently after the Tigers beat the Guardians in the playoffs. And I had several people, because I was wearing Tiger stuff. I didn't care. Screw you guys. We beat you in the playoffs. I'll rock Tiger stuff. So I had Guardians fans ask me, yeah, but would you rather be you or the Guardians? What are you talking about? Isn't the goal to go far in the playoffs, not to hang a flag somewhere?
I don't know. I'm big into banners.
Yeah, I know you are. A lot of hatred there from Ben. Some valid ones. Brant in the YouTube chat says another episode of Ben Hates Fun. You forgot to put I hate when people enjoy things on there.
That's not
something
true.
You hate.
That's not true.
I hate when other people like stuff.
No, there's nothing like that on this list. There's more specifics. I almost threw in Taylor Swift. I decided to not quite go there.
You hate... Okay, wait. I know that this was intended to be a Guardians thing. I tried to get into it, but I hate cooking.
Yeah.
What do you mean you tried to get into it?
I tried to be independent
one day.
And
was like,
there was a good stretch when I was living, first living by myself. I was like, I'm going to try to start cooking for myself more often. I just don't like it, and I stopped pretending to like it and doing the right thing and taking care of myself. I'll gladly warm up stuff in the microwave. I don't like cooking. It's a waste of my time. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair. I just the tried to get into it part was what caught me there.
I thought I was going to be a self-sufficient adult. Oh, I'll develop this skill. No, I just don't want to. It's not worth my time to learn how to do it. Microwave meals it is. That's fine. I have no shame in it.
You know one thing I hate that's unpopular opinion?
Tell us.
I can't do a cold shower. I can't. I've tried to be that guy. Everyone says it's so good for you. I can't. I've tried it. The cold plunge stuff is way too far for me, but even just the cold shower, it could be 90 degrees outside, and I just got done out of the sauna, and the shower will still be hot.
Yeah, the worst I go is a room temperature shower.
I can do a room temp shower. I cannot go on the right side of the middle. It's way too cold for me.
I almost put the Little League World Series on here, but I decided to not go there again.
See,
I don't think I hate it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get why people enjoy watching these 12-year-olds play baseball. The same reason I don't get why people enjoy watching these people mocking baseball play banana ball. I don't even know what that is. It's not baseball, though. It's a joke is what it is. More than anything, though, more than almost anything, I hate the Cleveland Guardians, and I cannot wait to play a 3-game series with them. I'll tell you this, Kyle. Us losing a series to them, I say us like I'm on the team. The Tigers losing this series with what's on the line, with a potential playoff spot to be taken over the next 3 games, really the next 6 games with the White Sox in the mix as well. Losing this first series after going 7-2 on the road trip would be such a deflating gut punch if it was anybody. The fact that it's Cleveland and you're 0-5 versus them and you have this dark history with them over the past couple of years, blowing all the momentum and it being Cleveland who delivers that punch, I genuinely don't think I'll be able to handle it. I don't think I will be able to function like a normal human being if the Tigers lose this series to Cleveland. It's miserable losing to these guys because you know how they're going to. We already know how they would lose these games. They have a lead the entire game. It's 3-2, and then in the 8th inning, Cleveland walks a guy, somebody flies out. There's some sort of error that advances the runner over to third. Sacrifice bunt scores 1 run. Solo shot scores the next. All of a sudden, they take the lead, and the Tigers can't find a way to win the game. Like they pull out these stupid wins every time.
Yeah, they don't
it's
play
always
good.
a one-run game. Yeah, they never play good. It's the Tigers making their own mistakes. It's like they bring some voodoo magic to the field and sprinkle it all over where the Tigers players play on defense, because for some reason the Tigers can never have good quality defense when we play this Guardians team, and it drives me bananas. Not banana ball, but it drives me bananas.
Yeah, this Guardians offense has been putrid over this losing streak that they are on.
And putrid for 3 years, and somehow they squeak into the playoffs.
Specifically right now, I mean, they've really struggled to score over 3 runs in this entire series against the White Sox, where they took 2 of 3. They only scored over 3 runs once. So this has been this is the right time to catch them. I think one thing we have learned, though, about Cleveland over the last several years is that there's never a right time to catch them.
No.
They just always, specifically against the Tigers, are going to play this certain way that is going to frustrate you. You're going to want to pull out your hair, and you're going to be on the edge of your seat. That's why I'm so excited, because we are getting like a playoff style of baseball in August.
Bloop single o'clock. That we may as well call the Guardians the Cleveland bloop singles when they play the Tigers, because I swear that's the only way they get on base. Walks and bloop singles where they barely make contact, but it just gets right over Gleyber Torres or Kevin McGonigal's head into the outfield. It's awful. Every time they beat us, it is some dumb whim like that.
Well, and that's the best part about right now, this Tigers team, is we've mentioned it throughout all of their previous series. They have these big blowout/shutout wins in all of them, and they've been really nice because we didn't get a lot of those early in the season. You know how nice it's going to be against Cleveland? If they get like an 8-0 win against Cleveland, I might celebrate that for a week.
True, because I will have no confidence going into an 8th or 9th inning if the Tigers only have a 1-run game. I'm just going to be convinced they're going to lose. Not because of the way that the Tigers have played this year, even though the most blown saves in baseball, the most 7th inning or later blown leads in baseball, like that's reason enough to be alone. I swear this Guardians team, they're like the Chicago Bears from last season, where it's like, last 2 minutes of the game, last inning, somehow they're going to find a stupid way to win this game. That's always what they do against this Tigers team. So unless the Tigers do have a 3, 4, 5-run lead, I do not feel safe unless there is 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning and the game is over. It's the only time I will feel safe against this Guardians team. I hate them. They keep me up at night.
Even when you look back at their wins versus Cleveland last year, the lone shutout win that they had that was like any sort of a big win, do you remember which one? It was 5-0, but it was the Tarek Skubal Maddox start.
Yeah.
Every other game that they won was like they won 3-1, and then they just lost most of them. Oh, they won 4-2. Like they lost most of the games against Cleveland last year, but they don't blow this team out because it's just the way these two teams play. That's what makes this rivalry so fun. And I mentioned it even in these last previous series. Like now that they've traded Skubal away, we're entering this new regime. Facing Cleveland without Skubal, though, I'm very interested because I think he hated them just as much as anyone. Just as much as you and I. At least he enjoyed pitching against them as much.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very interested to see kind of what this new core that still involves a ton of players that were a part of it the last couple years, but still, now that we're moving in this new direction, what is that rivalry against Cleveland going to look like?
Well, have no fear. Drew Anderson is here on the mound today for game number 1. That's got to be the most deflating. It's like, yes, we're all amped up for Cleveland.
Let's go. It's Cleveland week. Who's starting tonight? We got this great rotation.
Drew Anderson. You know what else would help? If Riley Green won one of these series against Cleveland at any point wants to be productive. Really tough West Coast trip for Riley Green.
And he's always been bad against Cleveland.
I've got the career numbers for you against Cleveland coming up a little bit later on the show. We're going to choose one Tiger to heat up for this week. What one Tiger would make the biggest difference if we just decided, bam, we're getting the best version of them for 6 games. We'll give you our answers a little bit later, but let's get to our Tuesday Tower. Since it is hate week, our most hatred, despised Detroit sports villains, teams, all of it summed up when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Minute. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today. Keep your home strong for years to come. 9 a.m. hour brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. You know, we talk about the game plan all the time on this show. The execution of it, that's how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission instead of your tech. Ironstack Technology, solution-driven, mission focus. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You know, in honor of Hate Week, which there's a couple Hate Weeks throughout the year. There's Michigan, Ohio State. There's any game against Green Bay. Ben Johnson and them are starting to creep into their Cleveland Guardians series. But this one, like, obviously
Michigan State, too.
Has some magnitude to it. Correct. Michigan State, you know, the biggest rivalry for Michigan of any team on their schedule, according to Kyle Whittingham. Yeah. Did you see the clip of his yesterday?
Oh, this
isn't a part of the show.
I got it in the news.
Oh, do you have the clip?
No, I just have the quote.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Why do we have to hate Ohio State? I don't know, man. That's kind of just the way that this goes.
Oh, man, you know the team you coach, or
that's kind of just
look at your shirt.
Anyway, let's get into our Tuesday Tower because it is Detroit sports villains, but it's mostly like the hate list for today. It's not necessarily all villains as much as it is things that we hate. Detroit sports edition. You can flash it up on the YouTube right now, Kyle. for our radio audience, I'll explain this the best I can. This is essentially a top 10 list that we do on Tuesdays in the form of a tower. We've got Tier 1 only has 1, Tier 2 only has 2, Tier 3 has 3, Tier 4 has 4, adds up to 10. The bottom of the pyramid, former Detroiters who turned evil. Tarek Skubal, both Matthew and Kelly Stafford, and Ben Johnson. I'd like to say this. I don't think Matt Stafford would still be on this list if he didn't start the entire Kirby Joseph is a dirty player thing.
See, that's why I think he is on here, so I'm happy that you included him, because I didn't think you would include him.
No, I really had nothing against Matt Stafford until he started that entire narrative with that infamous clip of him going right up to Kirby Joseph and saying, you're a dirty player.
And you know it.
Yeah, and then the Packers started to run with it. Tucker Kraft started to run with it. And then it just became a thing where everyone across the NFL, whether it's fans or players, just thought Kirby Joseph was a dirty player, when in reality, every safety or DB tackles the exact same way Kirby Joseph does. There's just been some unfortunate luck with Kirby on the other side. Maybe there's some people out there who would say, well, he had karma, now his knees are screwed up, and I'd say that's a terrible thing to say. Please don't ever say that. But I still have Stafford on this list. And Kelly Stafford just belongs on this list too, because I still to this day can't believe how offended she was that Detroit fans were booing when they came out, and then she said that...
Well, they weren't just booing. Yeah, they were booing her children.
Booing her children specifically. Like, nobody really cares about your kids in this situation. Or you, Kelly Stafford. You're booing your husband. But sure, make it about yourself.
Yeah.
So they both end up on this list.
I'll save my thoughts on the tower until you get through it all, but I will say you probably could have just collected the Staffords as one. They probably could have just been a unit to make room for another one, because there is a good amount of people that I think are snubs from this.
Sure.
But continue.
I have Skubal on this list. I think even the Dodgers fans are recognizing pretty quickly, like, oh, why is he already talking about the Tigers again? Why is he?
Yeah, the Dodgers fans are mad.
Yeah, because he keeps talking about the Tigers. Like, yeah, I'd love to go play for Detroit again. Like, bro, what? You can't say that. You play for a different team right now. He's starting to piss them off too, the same way that he kind of ruffled some feathers on the way out the door, really for the last year and a half here. And then I have Ben Johnson on this list as well, who would be higher if he just disrupted the Lions season in any way, but couldn't beat the Lions last year. And also, there has to be, like, it just has to be recognized he helped the Lions for a couple of years and stayed an extra season when he didn't have to. Now, if he were to have swept the Lions last year and talked a bunch of... Yeah, it'd probably be different, but that's not where we are right now with Ben Johnson. The third tier is called the mere sight of these people / logos make my blood boil. Jalen Brunson, who I really didn't think I hated that much, and then I pulled up a picture of him to put on this tower, and I started to get visibly upset, and I was like, no, I definitely still hate this guy. The Cleveland Guardians, just said in general, I don't think there's one player on this team anymore that I despise. It's just the entire team.
I agree.
All together.
I agree with this because both of their headliners, Stephen Kwan always gets the tag of oh, we got Kwand, and Jose Ramirez. Single. Both of these guys are they are likable guys. Kwan and Ramirez are not jerks.
No.
So yeah, the Guardians as a whole, and look at that logo. God, it's gross. A C. It's not even a good looking C. It's a disgusting logo.
What's up with Cleveland sports just having terrible logos? The Browns, it's just a brown helmet.
But the helmet's not even brown. It makes no sense.
It's like orange. Yeah. Orange.
Yeah, it's orange.
It's orange. Cleveland's just a C. The Cavs is just a C with a sword, or it's that new logo that just says Cavs. Gross. Bad. And then Monty Williams, who, it's now been 3 years since he's been employed by the Pistons, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get over the fact that he just robbed Tom Gores in the Detroit Pistons organization of, $70 million, showed up, employed, highest paid coach in all of basketball from the get-go, just clearly did not want to be here. A lot of, it's not just people saying it, it's from within the organization. They thought he was trying to get himself fired from the very beginning, lying to media, saying he was going to do one thing, doing something completely different, playing all bench lineups of 5 guys who cannot shoot the ball. Whatever he did to Jaden Ivey potentially led to Jaden Ivey's career being over. I still just, the sight of him, his name, it's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. I cannot get over what he did to this Pistons organization and what he did to waste a year of Cade Cunningham, destroy Jaden Ivey, why we were playing Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman together. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over this. And he got what he wanted. He got fired after 1 year and still collected his $70 million.
Yeah, I hate him.
The second tier, immediately squaring up if I ever see these two. Hands up. I'm trying to put you in a Kimura lock, dude. I'm trying to tap these dudes out. Aaron Rodgers still high up on this list until the day he retires, he will be on this list for me. And Josh Naylor, who has just really represented the hatred for Cleveland for the longest time, and now has transferred that over to Seattle, which is unfortunate because I like a lot of the guys on the Seattle team. I think Julio Rodriguez is a fun player, but he is just the most annoying guy to play against, maybe across all of sports right now. I truly cannot stand when he's on the other side of the field, when he's in the clubhouse, because he just brings this tomfoolery to the field at all costs. He was annoying in the playoffs, dancing at second base. He's doing these ridiculous celebrations. He's pimping his bat up in the air. Just an awful person to be around. Really, yeah, just these two guys, I truly don't know if I'd be able to resist trying to fight them if I saw both of them in the street.
Naylor is he truly is the Dylan Brooks of baseball.
And that's the thing, it's not just the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody
exactly.
hates him.
But he has the Tigers attachment because of his time in Cleveland, and then his first year out of Cleveland in Seattle, the Tigers face him in a 5-game playoff series, and he did goofy stuff in the series as well. Yeah, Naylor is certainly at the top of this.
And then the very top of the pyramid is just called FTP. It's just the Packers. When we lose to the Packers the 2 times that the Lions lost to them last year, I could not sleep. I had to go on walks. I had to go clear my head, go on drives. I can't stand losing to these guys. And it's not just one player. It's not just Tucker Kraft. It's not just... I
think Parsons has kind of taken on a villain role for the Lions. Remember, he showed up to Green Bay and was just like, yeah, Detroit sucks. I hate Detroit. It's like, oh, okay.
100%. Matt LaFleur,
yep,
he's in the group as well. Who's the linebacker that kept getting ejected?
Quay Walker.
Yeah.
He's gone now, but yeah.
Still, he can have off.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, super overrated. This is another one where it's not just one player. It's what this team represents. I can't stand it. It doesn't matter who's playing.
Yeah, their running back is a bad guy, just like a bunch of stuff.
It doesn't matter who's playing underneath the face mask. I see this logo and I want to throw up. The Packers will always be at the top for me. So there it is. That's my Tuesday Tower of Detroit villains. You said you had some comments.
I have some comments. The first one is, I think that Ben Johnson is so near the top. I think Ben Johnson is probably... It's hard because Rodgers, I'm with you 100%.
He even threw shade at the Lions last year.
Yeah.
After Pittsburgh, I can't talk about that game.
That's what I was going to say. That the Rodgers stuff, it started to fade away a little bit. It was okay, it's been several years since he was in Green Bay, and the Lions got the best of him once his Green Bay time was ended, which was the best feeling ever. Sending Aaron Rodgers out that way, missing the playoffs, it was the best. And, walking out with Randall Cobb, they're basically just coddling each other as they're walking off the field. And then for Aaron Rodgers to he started to go down this list. I would say before the Steelers game last year, he would have been on the third tier. But what Rodgers did, and the Steelers beating the Lions last year,
and
essentially ending the Lions season. Yeah, stupid win. Lions should have never lost that game.
We had the play where Amon-Ra flipped it to Jared Goff, and he got into the end zone with a second left, but it didn't count because of a push-off from Amon-Ra.
A little extra added on for me because I was sitting in a bar in Milwaukee watching this football game, and so there's Green Bay fans there, obviously. They still like Aaron Rodgers.
Perhaps the dumbest touchdown of the season, too, when who was the Steelers receiver that caught the ball?
Oh, no, it was Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah.
Right before halftime.
Oh, my God.
That game sucked. It was the worst game. The Metcalf stuff, which I thought Metcalf kind of earned a little bit of villain points coming into this season based off of what happened last year.
He's too big of an idiot to be a villain for
And it was
Detroit.
a one-time
thing. He's a villain
thing.
to himself.
It was a one-time thing. They don't play again this year, so I get that one.
But then Rodgers had to quote after the game. It's I've made some great memories here against this team. I hate you. You are the epitome of scum on this earth, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so he deserves to be up here, but I think Ben Johnson is at least on the third tier, and the argument could be made for him to be on the second tier, but I don't know who would move off of. Once Rodgers retires, I think Ben Johnson fills in that spot.
He keeps
it's the
giving us
fact that
wins.
He went to the Bears, man. Went to the Bears from the Lions, and then year one they win the division.
But does he get to keep rising up the list if we just keep pummeling him?
Well, yeah, obviously, that's the nice part about it, and I can continue to do the bit of, hey, Ben Johnson's never beat the Lions.
Yeah.
But if the team still has success, I think, and Ben Johnson just kind of seems like he embraces the villain role a little bit.
Yeah, he's got that Darth Vader side to him.
He certainly does. He has the supervillain kind of aspect to him, so I think he should be much higher. I think the biggest snub, which is where I would combine the Staffords here, I like that you included them. I think Kelly's the bigger villain than Matthew is. The biggest
tell that to
snub,
Kirby Joseph.
I think James Harden just earned villain status from the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I thought about it. I don't know if that's a Detroit-specific one, though. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, he's just kind of built that reputation up to where everyone just kind of, I don't want to say disrespects him, but no one, looks at James Harden's game and is like, wow, what an unbelievably brilliant basketball IQ. What an honorable, noble basketball player. No, everybody sees right through him, especially at this point of his career where he works the refs and he gets to the free throw line and he jumps forward on his jump shots from three and he gets to the foul line, and it's really annoying to play against and it makes me pull my hair out. I don't know if that's enough to become a villain, though. Maybe it is.
Yeah. And
because you're right, the Staffords probably could have just been one.
And then the Scooble thing, how does Scooble continue to rise this list? Like, once free agency rolls around and he obviously doesn't come back to Detroit like he's been saying he wants to do, and if they win the World Series, we're just jealous of him and he's even bigger villain. Like, does Scooble continue to rise this list over the next year or so? Or does he just kind of vanish and we'll get over it? This is just us being mad about the trade.
Only time will tell with this one.
Yeah.
Like, I would think Monty Williams wouldn't be on this list anymore. Yet I say his name, and all of a sudden I start to get visibly frustrated. The vein in my forehead starts to boom.
Like, Brunson, I think a little bit is like, oh, I kind of figured that would fade away by now, but then they just won the title. Like,
which I think made it worse.
It did make it worse.
I hate him
because
so
Cade
much.
is better than Brunson.
I hate him so much. Brunson's a better scorer. Cade is better at quite literally everything else.
But he won the title, so we got to give him the respect. Good amount of YouTube chats. We can get to those next.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Minute. We got some fun news to get to as well from this morning regarding the Detroit Pistons. Nothing to do with Jalen Duren, by the way. So we'll get to that, too. We're going to choose one Tiger to heat up. We'll get to around the league in a little bit. It's all coming up here on the Ben Bosscher Show. If you're looking to move before the summer ends, meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty, redefining real estate with a fresh and modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and a commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find you the perfect fit. Trust a team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith, Modern Realty.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, I'm sure some people have some disagreements and comments about the Tuesday Tower, the hate list, in honor of Cleveland coming to town this week. So, Kyle, what are people saying?
First off, we have a controversial chat from Kevin. I will give a complimentary one first from Chris. I love that you included Kelly Stafford in there. She is completely insufferable. Yeah, that's pretty good. But Kevin in the YouTube chat, we love Kevin. He always brings us gifts on the show, but sometimes he has some takes we don't agree with, mainly about one person named LeBron James. And he says, I'm going to ignite a generational divide with this comment. LeBron James should always be on this tower.
Get out of here. No. No.
In 2007, it marks the downfall of the going to work team.
I guess LeBron was the final nail in the coffin, but that team was going downhill anyway, right? That team had gotten old. That team was, it just so happened to be young LeBron that was like, these guys? I think that was eventually going to happen.
Yeah, but it still was him, saying it just so happened, like the Pistons just so happened to play the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs 2 years ago.
Sure.
You hate Brunson.
Yeah, I mean, but this isn't 2007 anymore.
That's kind of the part that I think is the most important part here.
And now that we know what LeBron has become, I don't really think there's any shame in what happened.
LeBron is also more so general enemy rather than like Detroit specific.
Yeah,
right?
He's bigger than
all the other teams. There's so many different enemies of his, anyways.
Yeah, the Celtics are number one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what would be number two.
Warriors,
Golden State, but then they kind of got along there at the end.
And the Warriors also liked him. Every team that he almost went to this offseason, like Cleveland probably has a little bit of like, what the heck, LeBron? You didn't come back to Cleveland? Nah, he's certainly not a villain of theirs.
No.
But yeah, I would certainly not say LeBron. Gary says
It's a good point by Kevin.
Yeah. Matt Patricia or Matt Millen set Lions back years. I think you were mainly going for the current aspect here.
Yeah.
And Monty
but
Williams, I guess, is
Monty.
a little, he's a little past the current aspect. Matt Patricia, a really good one. I mean, Millen is too. They both really, had the Lions in some dog days. And then we got a couple chats, both from a couple different guys. Ryan Day of Ohio State. He was a guy, I made like a short list of villains that I just thought of while we were talking about this yesterday. Ryan Day made the honorable mention list. I don't know. I think Michigan fans secretly enjoy Ryan Day. Is that fair?
Yeah, because you feel like you could beat him.
You feel like you can beat him.
And he's kind of a joke. He makes a mockery of himself. Like the crying. He's a guy who's cried on the field too. I tried to keep it Detroit specific as well, rather than Michigan,
which I think is fair.
I got one. Myron texted in saying, "Banana Ball is not baseball; it's entertainment. It's another WWE entity. Yes, it's athletes, but it's not actually a game." I strongly disagree with your cooking take.
Yeah, I think most people like cooking. But that's just a you.
Yeah, that's a me thing, my guy. I think I've said all I need to say about Banana Ball.
Yeah, going back to the Tuesday Tower, I think that when it comes to Detroit-specific villains, does either Dylan Larkin or Jalen Duren deserve some chats here? Current Detroit athletes, which is crazy, obviously.
Not yet. I don't think you're qualified if you're on the team. And I do think both of those guys will end up playing for the team this year.
Steve Yzerman, maybe, is another one that could have made this list. But
is he a villain or is he just incompetent?
Yeah, we just are kind of sick of him rather than, he's not really a villain. Yeah, because he was like a hero.
Yeah, it's more like, that would
He's
be
the hero
pretty tough
villain.
to villainize him. He's more like the grandpa who's like, oh, he can't really do anything anymore. We got to take care of him.
Yeah.
Let's get him out of the senior role of being in charge. Come on, Grandpa, retire.
Feels like everybody is kind of piling on with the LeBron stuff. They kind of wish LeBron was on here. Chris says we need a bigger tower. That's a good point. Yeah,
no.
I think
because then we'd have to add 5 more people.
Right, exactly. Sharon Moore, maybe. Not really. Maybe he's more of still a villain to society. But yes, I do like the fact that you put the Packers as a whole and the Guardians as a whole because they don't really have the specific player to hate. Whereas the Bears, you could have put the Bears as a whole. It's obviously just Ben Johnson, though.
Yeah.
Or maybe Caleb. It's kind of the combination of them two. But
and I don't throw up in my mouth seeing the Bears logo because for most of my life it's been like, oh, the Bears, I pity their fans. Whereas the Packers, they flaunt around and think of themselves as this high, honorable, noble team, and it's like, shut up, you guys suck, you're insufferable. They have to be at the top. FTP till the day I die.
If Scott Harris didn't trade Tarek Skubal away, he would have been on here.
Absolutely.
Chris Ilitch certainly is maybe, but you know what? The Tigers are playing good. You actually did fire Steve Yzerman, sure. We're not giving you credit, but we're certainly not going to call you a villain either.
Yeah. It's like Chris Ilitch is like the guy who's like, oh, I'm going to start working out. And it's like, okay, you've been saying that for 2 years and you finally started doing it. So sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pizza Man says, Larkin is a hero for getting rid of Steve Yzerman. Heroes Tower, Dylan Larkin at the top.
989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. We'll get back to the Tuesday Tower eventually as well, a little bit later on in the show. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. The Midland Area Community Foundation, they're dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity, connection, and more. Supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. That is the Midland Area Community Foundation. Crane's L&M Appliance Center has been serving the Tri-City area with quality home appliances, from refrigerators and washers to stoves and dishwashers, backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff that you can count on. They make getting the right appliance easy with delivery, professional installation, haul away for your old unit, and even financing options to fit your budget. Stop into Crane's L&M Appliance Center today and discover dependable brands and great values for every room in your home.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Got some really exciting Pistons news this morning. Starting to get noticed nationally, starting to get some appreciation for it. So here's Kyle with the news.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Some surprising news coming this morning, and it seems like it was even surprising to the one who reported it in Shams Charania of ESPN, because we finally, now that LeBron James decided where he was going to go, are starting to get the NBA schedule. The full schedule is going to come out on Thursday, but we got the Christmas Day slate, and more importantly, we got the opening night tip-off slate. And it was originally reported as, hey, this is pretty, straightforward. Couple matchups we expected. LeBron and the Sixers versus the reigning champion New York Knicks. Cool. And then Thunder Spurs.
But guess what?
And then Shams quotes and's like, by the way, also, the Pistons and Celtics are actually the first game. And they're playing in the afternoon at 3 p.m. But this is in Detroit. The Pistons will be, the first game of the NBA season will be played at Little Caesars Arena from the Pistons.
Yeah, look,
I think that's pretty awesome.
People with real jobs probably going to be pretty annoyed at this, that the Pistons start at 3
We don't
p.m.
have a real job.
I mean, we do, but we talk about sports. It's hardly a job at all.
Yeah.
People that actually work 9 to 5s probably kind of frustrated by this. Wait a minute, why is there a day game, a 3 p.m. game on a Tuesday to kick off the entire NBA season? I don't care. I think that's phenomenal. It's nationally televised, NBC. I have no reason to think that you and I won't go down to this. Celtics, Pistons. Seems like this thing's going to be at home to an LCA. Pistons being recognized on national TV to kick off the NBA season. I'm in. I didn't expect to get a Pistons Christmas game. I thought that would have been a little bit far-fetched, even with the 1 seed, even with Cade Cunningham.
I don't think anybody was really expecting that.
I will gladly take the first game of the NBA season. That sounds phenomenal. And is it almost like an appetizer to the main dish starting at 7 p.m. and then OKC and San Antonio at 9:30? Yeah, a little bit. I don't care. I'm in. I like this. I think it's going to be a really fun environment. It also happens to be the same day that a theoretical Game 7 of the ALCS would be. So, I don't know. Could be a pretty special day in Detroit. Could be.
Well, they'll have already swept whoever they're playing by then.
Correct.
Yeah, they'll already be in the World Series, of course. Maybe the World Series will be beginning early. My only question about this, I'm excited about it, by the way. Kevin said he's not excited about it. He said Pistons playing at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday to start the season. Add that to the hate tower.
What is that really worse than Wednesday at 8 o'clock? Is it on not nationally televised TV?
I just think it's cool that yes, it is worse. It's at 3 o'clock. I would say yes, but
sounds great to me.
I think it's awesome that they're the first game. I think that's totally awesome. The only thing I have to say is why? I wonder why they're doing this.
I think NBC is just being greedy.
Yeah, it's always been a doubleheader. And as a non-Pistons fan, if I was going to zoom out of this, why Pistons Celtics?
Kevin, take a half day at work, go down to the Pistons game, enjoy a 2.5 hour day, and guess what? You'll be back in your bed by 9 o'clock because it's a 3 o'clock game.
Unless the Tigers are playing in the ALCS, then you have to stay.
Then you have to stay. And we'll just make a day out of it. Just turn it into a little holiday. Oh, I got something later on. I can't work the second half of the day. Yeah.
Afternoon doctor's appointment.
Yeah. It's better than a random 8 o'clock start against whoever, fill in the blank random team. We get a nationally televised game to start out the season because people want to see Cade Cunningham, and NBC and NBA wants to display Cade Cunningham as one of their best stars. I like this.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm very excited for it. And we get to play again. I mean, Cade has had really good games against the Celtics.
Yeah.
But last year specifically, it felt like there was some real, this is a fun little rivalry here between these two teams.
Well, the home opener last year was also against the Celtics, in which the Pistons won.
That's right. I guess I kind of forgot about that. So, yeah, that's exciting. And then we get the full Christmas slate for the NBA schedule. This is a little bit, not more surprising, but the matchups themselves, I'm a little bit questioning. First off, Spurs-Knicks to open things off. Saw that coming. It's in New York. Wemby, finals rematch, blah, blah, blah.
We've also already seen this matchup on Christmas, and that was Wemby's career high at the time.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, I'm cool with them running it back. Heat-Celtics, okay.
I love it.
76ers Lakers. Okay, let me just say the other two, then I'll get my thoughts. Thunder Timberwolves, I love that one. And then Nuggets Warriors to close things off. Sixers Celtics not getting either the opening day game or the Christmas Day game.
Yeah, a little bizarre.
We're not getting the Brown Tatum stuff on Christmas or opening night. They play 4 times. I thought we were going to get it on both days, maybe.
Not only is it Brown versus Tatum, it's also LeBron versus the Celtics.
Like, to me, that felt like a no-brainer. I mean, Heat Celtic, like, who cares about Heat Celtics?
I think that's fun. By the way, too, all 5 of those games, round of applause. And then in the NFL, Packers, Bears at 1, feed it to me. We've got Bills, Broncos at 4:30, feed it to me. And then we've got the Rams and the Seahawks at 8:15.
Oh, my gosh.
I love my family so much. I think they're the best people in the world. I would love nothing more than on Christmas to just sit in front of 2 TVs and not get off the couch the entire day. And that would be an amazing Christmas gift, to just watch all of these games, football, basketball, the entire day. Because all of these games seem like, especially at that point in the NFL season, games that you cannot miss that will have enormous playoff implications.
We really are sickos, because right now I'm just envisioning, like, it's cold out, it's snowy, I'm cuddled up on the couch, I got a coffee with me in the afternoon.
With some Baileys in there, too?
I just got done eating, like, some leftovers from whatever we had at Christmas Eve dinner, and I'm just watching LeBron play against the Lakers. And by the way, on the side, I got
Bills.
Josh Allen running over Nick Bonito for a touchdown. And I have him in fantasy.
That sounds like the best Christmas ever. Santa,
and, like,
thank you.
Nuggets Warriors being the last game, great. I don't care about that game. Like,
yeah,
that's
let me
awesome
go to
that
bed.
that's the late game. I could care less about that game. So, speaking of the Nuggets, by the way, we got some interesting Jokic news to get to at some point.
Oh, I missed
save
this.
that
I don't know what this is.
He might leave the NBA.
What?
We'll save that for later. We're gonna get to some Tigers' thoughts at MLB Network. They think it's bad for baseball if the Tigers make the playoffs. We'll save all the rest of that stuff for
That's
later.
Insane. Morons. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Here's what's coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Of course, we got Around the League at 10:30. We'll revisit our Tuesday Tower. But to kick things off, we're going to pick one Tiger to heat up. We're going to get the best version of that Tiger for the first 3 games in this homestand against Cleveland. That's when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, and we are live here on 100.9 The Mid. Kyle, with it being Hate Week, with it being Cleveland Guardians Week, we need to make sure the Tigers are playing their A game. So let's play a little game. It's called Heat 'em Up. We get to each choose one Detroit Tiger to heat up. We get the best version of them for not only this series against Cleveland, but this entire homestand against Cleveland and the White Sox for the next 6 games starting tonight at 6:40 against Cleveland. Who would be the most impactful player if it was just like, bam, heat this guy up, we're getting the best version of him? And I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't pick. I ended up narrowing it down to 3 finalists. But I will say, I'm not going to choose Kevin McGonigal because we get, the most consistent, good version of Kevin McGonigal most series. I'm not going to choose Dylan Dingler because the best version of him is just the version that we have been getting. I need to heat someone up who maybe has a little bit of inconsistency, and we want to bring the best out of them specifically for this series while expecting Kevin McGonigal and Dylan Dingler to play it like them normal selves. There's no need to heat those players up because they're heated up more often than not. And usually those guys can't put together awful series. So I don't have those guys as 3 of my finalists to clarify. Nor do I have a starting pitcher because you only get them one time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have, just continue and I'll give you my thoughts.
I have 3 final candidates. The first of which is Riley Green, who obviously is a very polarizing player. Has his highs, has his lows, has his hot moments, has his cold moments. Right now in a little bit of a cold moment. And luckily for him, the Tigers went 7-2 on the road trip, which just kind of shadowed over the fact that he had a terrible road trip. He hit 167 on the road, 580 OPS, 14 Ks, and 6 walks in their 9 games on the West Coast. Pretty awful. If the Tigers went 500 or 4-5 during this trip, Riley Green would be under a lot of scrutiny right now because he's in that cleanup spot almost every game during that West Coast trip. Now, they were winning games, so it didn't matter. Really good pitching performance as well. They need Riley Green to be the best version of himself this week if they want to beat Cleveland because he has really struggled versus Cleveland in his career. 208 average, 609 OPS, 80 Ks to 18 walks. Just god-awful numbers versus this Guardians team, and that needs to change. That needs to shift this upcoming week. It needs to. So Riley Green's the first person I have written down.
Yeah, I think he's the number one person that you would think of in general for this exercise.
When you get the best version of him, you get one of the better players in all of baseball.
And essentially this exercise is you're picking a player to heat up. That ultimately means that they haven't been hot as of late, right?
Yeah.
And Riley Green certainly has not been. And like you said, it has not affected their winning by any means to a large standpoint. But against Cleveland, the fact that he hasn't been great in his career against them and the fact that he has gone now 3 straight series, it actually goes back to the Baltimore series where he's been bad. He has put together some pretty rough stretches of baseball right now. This would be the perfect time for the Chris Castellanis of the world to get off of his case a little bit if he had a big series.
Yeah, and after Chris put out that 8-minute video about Riley Green,
I watched it.
I did too. I texted him about it. I thought he did a good job covering it up. The one thing I told him, though, was I think that Tigers fans, in a era that was so hopeless, when you got Riley Green as a prospect, and he became the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, and then he finally comes up at the ripe age of 21, you expected so much because he was all you were promised. With all the suffering that Tigers fans had gone through, he was delivered as the golden child, the prince that was promised. And we expected more and more and more. And he delivered as a 3-time All-Star already in his career, 800 OPS. And it's yes, this guy's awesome. But because he was what represented the Al Avila total rebuild, tear it down, we always wanted more and more and more, and there wasn't anybody else to cling on to. I argue if Kevin McGonigal was delivered first and Max Clark was delivered first and then Riley Green came afterwards, it would be way easier to appreciate him because Tigers fans wouldn't be so starved for a homegrown stud within their system. And I think that's what ended up happening. Tigers fans were so starved and so desperate for a superstar that they
which is
forced
fair,
Riley
though.
Green to become a star. And even though he's become a star, it's still not enough for Tigers fans.
And you're right. But I think it is a fair want. They went so
100%.
long without having any sort of a superstar on their team. And so wanting that, if they got McGonigal first, who is a superstar.
I don't think Riley Green would be as head of the league criticized.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And that's just the thing, too. Like, again, I'm not choosing McGonigal or Green here, or I'm not choosing McGonigal or Dingler here as heat-up candidates because those guys are always themselves. And if Riley Green is the best version of themselves when Kevin McGonigal and Dylan Dingler are also playing like their normal selves, that's when this Tigers team becomes one of the most dangerous teams in the American League. So I'm choosing Riley Green as my heat-up candidate, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, this might be cheating because I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be playing. We'll find out in a couple hours. Kerry Carpenter, who's eligible to come off the IL at any point. 839 career OPS versus Cleveland. The complete opposite versus Riley Green.
And we all know the moment.
He's got the big-time playoff bombs. The issue is there's only one right-handed pitcher going for Cleveland this week if you look at the projected starters. But that doesn't mean they can't bring in more right-handed pitchers and then give Kerry Carpenter more at-bats later on in the games where he delivers in big-time moments. Because what we know about Tigers versus Guardians is late in the games, there's going to need to be some big-time moments. These games are won in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. So I think they could really use some juice from him. Obviously, when he's at his best, it's the extra base hits, it's the home runs, it's the power in the bat. That real pop at home from a guy who's already delivered against Cleveland so many times, and they could the Tigers already have momentum, but they could really snowball that into something pretty insane after going 7-2 on the road. If Carpenter's hot, all of a sudden you start to feel like you're even more hot at home with him the way that he's playing. He's another candidate of mine as well. And then the third one I have, which might be cheating because if you look at his numbers, he already is kind of hot. But how important would it be to have a real, legitimate closer in this upcoming homestand against the Guardians and the White Sox? A guy who can shut the door on anybody. I'm going Kenley Jansen. If we can get the best version of him, a version that we saw very early on, and then secretly we've been getting for the last, month, Kenley Jansen in his last 11 appearances has a .98 ERA. He kind of has been hot. And if we can continue to get that version of him where he's not really allowing any runs and can get a couple saves this homestand, I think that would go an incredibly long way. That might be the number 1 heat-up candidate for the rest of the year. Like, if they can just have a closer to actually count on, that would change the season.
Well, and I think right now, the version of Kenley Jansen we're getting, yes, like he deserves credit for having several good appearances now in a row, but we are at the point of Kenley Jansen might be figuring it out. If he figured it out over an entire week against the 2 opponents that are the most important of the season so far, in Cleveland and Chicago, if he was nails in 3 appearances this week or something, then I think we would shift from, he might be figuring it out to, boom. Kenley Jansen, finally this signing is paid off.
If he had 2 saves this homestand, that'd be awesome. Maybe he pitches 3 times. I guess that's on the table.
Yeah, it totally is.
But even just 2 saves would be electric, especially in so many games against Cleveland where they win it in the 8th or 9th inning. If Kenley could come in with a lead a couple of times throughout the course of this homestand and just slam the door shut where it's like, thanks for coming, Cleveland. You're not winning this thing in the 9th inning the way that you always do with a walk and then a bloop single and then you advance the runner with a sacrifice. Like, you're not doing that today. Kenley's shutting you down. That would be, that actually might be my answer more so than Green and more so than Carpenter because of the way that these Cleveland and Detroit games have gone over the past couple of years, late stages of the game. Feels like that's how they're always decided.
Yeah, I like the Kenley Jansen answer. I think just having the guy that you can trust right now, because that is still, even though it's been better, that is still the number 1 area of concern for Detroit right now. The starting pitching you feel great about. Even Drew Anderson wasn't really bad in his lone start last week, and obviously he gets the mound tonight. The lineup feels pretty good right now. They haven't had that game where, they just don't come to play at all. There's been certain pockets of it that you want to heat up, of course, but as a whole, the lineup has been good. The bullpen is still question marks right now. And so if you could guarantee that Kenley Jansen has a big week, then I think that would be a perfect guy to heat up.
Do you have any other candidates other than the 3 I gave you?
Yeah, I do. And it's a guy that you've actually already said. I agree with you in the fact that, there's no need to heat up Kevin McGonigal because McGonagall's just that dude, he's going to bring it. Dylan Dingler, though, I disagree on.
Okay. Make your case.
Pizza Man says if Dingler were to heat up any more, Comerica Park would burn down.
I love how much the MVP buzz has taken a life of its own. On MLB Network, ESPN, man. All of it.
I think we were the first people to say it, and now everybody's talking about Dylan Dingler to be the MVP, and his odds just keep getting better and better. Here's what I'll say, though. Nobody affects the Tigers' win-loss record more than Dylan Dingler. And obviously, he has the best WAR on the team, so that would tell you that, of course. He has the best F4. Is he still best in the American League? Him and Jordan Alvarez have been kind of going back and forth.
He's got
over the last couple of days.
0.1 lead over Jordan.
But here's a stat for you. The Tigers are right around 500. So they've have about the same amount of games of wins versus losses. Dylan Dingler in wins this season, in Tigers wins, 52 games played. Pretty good amount. 19 home runs, almost 60 RBI with an 1135 OPS. Ridiculous in games that the Tigers win. In games they lose, which is 57 games, 5 more games than the wins that he has played in this year. Just 7 home runs, only 22 RBIs, a 182 batting average with a 595 OPS. Pretty putrid numbers.
Yeah.
Nobody affects winning on the Tigers more than Dylan Dingler, and the number one goal of this week is to win. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter if Riley Green goes 0 for 20. It doesn't matter if Kenley Jansen blows the saves and you come back. It doesn't matter if Drew Anderson gets lit up tonight. It's just winning the games, and nobody affects that more than Dylan Dingler. So I would choose him to have a huge week.
Want to know why he affects it more than anybody else? Because he's usually in that 3 spot, and more often than not, Kevin McGonigal and Gleyber Torres do a pretty good job of getting on base. So when he is hitting the ball well and making good contact and hitting the ball in the gaps, it's usually scoring runs for the Tigers.
Yeah.
When he can't do that, all of a sudden you leave it up to Riley Green, and that can go one of 2 ways.
Dingler is second in the American League in RBI because he does get set up well from those guys.
Yeah. You know what? You convinced me. That's a fine answer. There's not a lot of
800 over an 800 point difference in OPS versus wins and losses.
Say the 2 numbers.
That's unbelievable. Or I guess my math would be a little bit off there. Over 500, 1135 OPS in wins, 595 in losses.
That's incredible.
Like a 540 point difference. That's crazy.
Plus, if he's really killing it with the ABS stuff and giving the Tigers extra chances or getting extra strikeouts, that goes a long way as well. Yeah, I think there's 4 legitimate candidates: Carey, Riley, Dingler, and Kenley Jansen.
We got a couple of options in our YouTube chat. Gary says Finnegan needs to find his sinker and step up, stop serving up walks and home runs. That would be the risk you would take of like, hey, if we think Kenley Jansen has figured it out, let's double up here.
I have almost lost most of my faith in Kyle Finnegan at this point.
Lost all faith.
It's just not.
His season numbers are still pretty good, but they're certainly like kind of blinded by them.
His advanced metrics they're just dipping. Like,
and you don't
his
trust
velocity
him.
is just not there.
Certainly
anymore.
not. BC says Baez heat up. Need that at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one as well. He was really hot when he came back. He cooled off a little bit, leveled out. Him at the bottom of the lineup when he is on it.
Yeah.
The Tigers do feel like they just become a different team when he's hitting the ball well. He just knows how to hit the gaps.
Especially if Clark is getting on base for him too.
Vincent says Torkelson, how about he lights him up with a couple of home runs this week? Yeah, that's another good guy where it's like, okay, if he has a good week and hits multiple home runs, that's really what that means.
But if he doesn't, then like I'm just going to continue to hope Jose Briseño gets called up.
Yeah, a lot of people saying Dingler on our text thread right now. Again, 989-837-6125. Choose one Tiger to heat up the rest of the way. Well, not this homestand. Choose one Tiger to heat up this homestand against Cleveland and the White Sox. I gave you Kenley Jansen, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, told you why. Kyle comes with a compelling case with Dylan Dingler. I want to hear what some other people have to say when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Air Insurance. They're all about putting you in a better insurance position. Whether it's your home, auto, life, or business coverage, they make sure your protection actually fits your life. If you're looking for a team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Air Insurance Group on social media to stay connected and see how they're helping people every single day. If you're looking for a steady hand when it comes to your financial future, though, Kevin Spencer at Edward Jones right here in our community takes the time to understand what matters most to you. and helps build a strategy to get you there. Reach out to Kevin Spencer at Edward Jones today because your goals deserve a plan that's personal.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's get to a couple more texts. Choose one Tiger to heat up for this homestand against the Guardians, against the White Sox. You get the best version of one Detroit Tiger for the entire course of the homestand. You got a text that says, Torkelson needs to heat up a little bit because he always seems to come up clutch in big moments. That was never really the case, but he has had a couple plays this year that have been like really clutch. Going back to the walk-off home run back in May. He had the play over the weekend in late stages in the game that ended up helping the Tigers win a game against San Francisco. I don't know if I'd call him a clutch player, but I would say he's had a couple moments this year. And if he did light up this, like when Spencer Torkelson is hot, if I were to say, hey, Spencer Torkelson had an amazing series, you got the best version out of him for this 6-game homestand, that probably means 3 home runs, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, that's kind of his version of getting hot, right?
3 home runs and a double or 2. It's not like he's going to hit like 300 over the course of this 6-game homestand. Even the best version of Spencer Torkelson is not doing anything like that. He's probably hitting 250 and the slugging would just be really high.
Yeah, but you're right in the fact that like Torkelson has just been clutch this year. Like he has over 1,000 OPS versus with runners in scoring position this season.
It's crazy. He's completely shifted that narrative.
That coming into the season, that was never his thing. And then outside of that, when there's nobody on, he's terrible. But who cares?
It's the Javi Baez method.
Yeah, it is. But at least Javi Baez is like, we kind of just accepted what he was, and there still is the hope for Torkelson at the end of the day.
Javi has given up on trying to hit home runs, which I think is good. He just tries to find the gap. He's a good hitter. He swings at some garbage, but he's no longer swinging to try to hit the ball 730 feet.
Yeah.
That was a huge problem the last couple of years. Yeah, a lot of people texting in and saying Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah, we got some YouTube chats about that as well. Torkelson. I mean, I understand it, right? Because we don't expect Torkelson to give us, a great game on a nightly basis.
No.
But he certainly is able to. He does have the home runs. That's one thing we do have to give Torkelson as far as his season stats go this year. He's got 20 homers.
Yeah, second most on the team.
He's
still,
at least
right?
hitting home runs. Yeah, and the batting average is low. Yeah, the OPS isn't it's not putrid, but it's certainly an average number. You'd love it for it to be higher for a former first overall pick, but at least he's got the homers. Remember at the beginning of the year? This guy didn't hit a home run for a month and a half.
Yeah. Stacy says, well, it's not Carey for the Cleveland series since he hasn't even started a rehab assignment yet. Riley's hitting under 200 the last couple weeks, so I'll go with him to heat up. I do think there's a chance that Carey just ends up playing for the Tigers at some point this homestand, if not tonight.
Yeah, we're not speculating. Obviously, we don't really know
I don't think he'll get a rehab
status
start.
is. Kerry Carpenter was with the Tigers the entire West Coast trip.
Yeah.
Why would he not have just been rehabbing then? Why would he be with the team? I thought he was going to come back
never
on the West Coast
actually
trip.
hurt.
That was kind of what everybody did assume. So, yeah, I would assume Kerry Carpenter comes back at some point this week. It could happen today. Like you said, A.J. Hinch and the Tigers usually announce / make these moves 2 hours before first pitch. They had the day off yesterday, so there's no need to do it. Once he speaks to the media today, he easily could be activated.
That's the thing, too. The best version of Kerry Carpenter is way fewer at-bats than a guy like Spencer Torkelson or Riley Green, but it is someone who, he hit 320 with an 1,200 OPS in 10 at-bats throughout the course of the series because there's only one righty starter. That's going to be the second game of the series tomorrow. And then he came in and had a clutch hit both Tuesday and Thursday later in the game once Cleveland brought in a right-handed pitcher. That could easily happen, and those limited at-bats could impact the game in a huge way if A.J. Hinch can use Kerry Carpenter correctly.
Can I do an anti-heat up a guy?
You want to cool somebody down?
Yeah, I want to cool off a Guardian.
Okay.
Can I do that as my one wish, Willow?
Sure.
I want to cool off Tanner Bybee because this guy kills the Tigers, man. Tanner Bybee, in his career against the Tigers, you look at his numbers this year, his record is terrible. He's 4-11, yet he's got a sub-4 ERA, but against the Tigers, he's 5-3 in his 11 starts with a 3.2 ERA and 61 Ks. I mean, he lights up the Tigers. And you hear those numbers, it's that's not elite. Troy Melton has better numbers. This is Tanner Bybee. This isn't a star pitcher in the league. He's fine. He's a fine right-handed arm.
And you can't convince the Tigers fans
and
of that.
He kills the Tigers. And it feels like he pitches against us every single time we face Cleveland. It just always works out. And his last few starts as well have been the big ones, going back to the series we played them last year and the lone start he made against us this year. So if I could cool off a guy, I'd pick Bybee, one, because he's been great against the Tigers, and two, it's the Drew Anderson start for the Tigers today. If you win the Drew Anderson game, on top of it being the pitcher for Cleveland that you can never beat in Tanner Bybee, it'd be a great start to this series.
Yeah. If we get off to a win with Drew Anderson on the mound today, I'm going to feel pretty good about. Is tomorrow Fromber?
Believe so.
I believe tomorrow's Fromber, and then all of a sudden you're feeling
Fromber, Kiter.
Yeah, you really are saving your best pitchers for.
God, and then you go Joe Melton against Chicago. Sheesh. And then by Sunday, Verlander will be back to pitch for Drew Anderson.
Seriously?
No.
I was about to say, what are you talking about? This is the first I've ever heard of
that. And
I
don't think Jack Flaherty, they made it seem like he was going to at least have to make a rehab start before returning.
Yeah, usually the pitchers do.
Yeah. Pretty tough. We're going to get 2 Drew Anderson starts on this homestand, which is kind of tough.
Couple people texted in and said Javi at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
And then we got one text from Lexi that says, I'll go with Max Clark. Keep the youngster moving. That will light up the Comerica crowd. I couldn't agree more. I think Clark today should get such a huge standing ovation for what he did on his West Coast trip, and I hope to make
He's
up.
just going to get one anyways, yeah.
I hope to make up for his major league debut being at a minor league park. Detroit gives him the loudest welcome possible because he deserves a big-time major league moment here at home. It sucks that he's played 9 games now and none of which have been in the Comerica
I think it
Pride.
was a good idea.
I do too.
Take
Ease
the
him into
pressure
it.
off of him. You know, he doesn't have, because if he would have, imagine he was making his debut tonight.
Yeah, too much pressure for someone
Way too much pressure.
who, especially in what is for sure a must-win series. Like, we're now at that point in the year, must-win series tonight and this weekend against the White Sox. So,
God, it sets up so perfectly for it to either go extremely well or extremely poorly. That's the issue.
yeah, they're not going
Because
3-3.
The Tigers have just been playing so well, but the fact that it's Cleveland, like Detroit has been playing so well, they're finally almost back to above 500 where they are legit in grasp of getting above 500 in this series, and yet it's the team that they can't beat they're playing this week in Cleveland. Like, they could easily just get their hearts shattered and get swept by Cleveland, and it would be super poetic. Or they do actually get their lick back and they sweep them and they're above 500 going into the Chicago series. I cannot wait.
Tickets as low as $12 on Thursday. Tickets as low as $14 on Saturday. What are we doing?
I mean, that's kind of every baseball game, right?
We should go down.
You got a busy week here, man.
No. All right, 989.
You don't want to go see Drew Anderson tonight? You can go tonight.
God, I'm gonna be so mad if they lose. It'll truly ruin my entire
If
day.
you went and they lost, yeah.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Reminder, you don't have to be a pro to get pro-level care. Whether you're hitting the gym, the field, or just staying active, Covenant Healthcare Sports Medicine helps you prevent injuries, recover quicker, and keep doing what you love. That's Covenant Healthcare Sports Medicine.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. on 100.9 The Mid.
Did you see the Dan Campbell update on Kirby Joseph?
Yeah. Should I play it?
Oh, you've got the audio?
Give me a second.
Yeah, sure.
But you'd said Kirby Joseph would be reevaluated at 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is tomorrow. What does the next steps look like for Kirby?
Well, Kirby right now, first of all, he's dealing with a personal issue right now. All right, but his rehab is coming along very well. Okay, so that is I still see him on the Branch plan, if that makes sense. And Branch is doing well too. So those guys, we're talking about on down the road. The season's already begun, but I like where Kirby's at.
No idea what that means. I'm not.
Is that a positive update?
No idea.
Because I saw that quote during our last break, and I was like, "Oh God!" And then Ian Rappaport quotes it and is like, "A positive update for Kirby Joseph."
Yeah, but Ian Rappaport's not in the weeds and doesn't know that Kirby's kind of been a little rocky as of late.
Like, just because he views him on the Branch plan, I guess, is semi-positive. We still don't really know what the Branch plan is. Obviously, that means returning at some point, though, so I guess that is good for Kirby Joseph if they believe that his rehab is coming along where he will be able to return. But the personal issue part could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, and I don't want to speculate on what that means. But
it could be something terrible, and so we could be bad guys for even discussing it. But, like, it also could just be some of the dumb stuff that was going on with Kirby Joseph over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, like, okay, dude, you need to just chill out for... I have no idea if that's a good or positive update.
I do like that he says
he
says I like where Kirby's at to close that off, which is good. But also hearing the quote is much worse than reading the quote because he's very trying to search for the words and
like Kirby's
he's
dealing with
he's got this
personal issue
thing going on.
Because if it was just like a personal work issue or like outside of work issue, like I feel like if it was like Amon-Ra, like, oh yeah, Amon-Ra's got a personal thing, he's not going to be with us today. And Dan with this was like, he's got a personal issue.
It's like
let's go with that.
It's like he thought of the word personal at the last second.
Yeah.
He's got a personal thing going on. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. What was it then? What were you going to say?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Kind of sketchy.
Yeah, my reaction to that was, oh goodness. I don't know what this means. I don't think it's safe to assume it. Look, if Kirby Joseph doesn't play for the Lions this year, I guess I'm not going to be all that shocked.
They also asked Dan Campbell if they'd consider playing Tate Ratledge at right guard in the preseason game to help Blake Miller get comfortable. And Dan Campbell said, I think it would help, but I'm not going to play Tate. I like where Tate's at right now.
Good.
So maybe
it sounds
he
like
just
Blake
likes
Miller's the
where
only
everybody's
starter.
at right now.
It sounds like Blake Miller's the only starter that's really going to go on Thursday. And then he said the next preseason game number 2 is where he might have the starters play a rep or a series or two.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Let's give some picks for awards. We're getting to that time of the year. I've just been...
Have you made your NFL futures yet or no?
I've made some NFL futures. I have not made all of them.
Yeah, I've only made one.
I've dabbled.
I think the Aaron Donald one that we did. Obviously, I will do them at some point. The issue is, how many fantasy football pay-in leagues are you in?
1. Oh,
really? Okay.
I'm not someone who likes joining. I'm in 2 dynasty leagues, and I doubt I will do a redraft league this year. I am not. I know you're the complete opposite.
You got to do
you're
one
a sicko.
redraft league.
I don't think I do.
One.
You're a sicko, and we'll join 8 different fantasy leagues and enjoy all of them.
I've just been in all of them. Yeah.
I only give me 2 teams, and that's all I really need to care about. Those are my dynasty babies. I don't need to be involved in a ton of redraft leagues and getting roped into it. Every year, people are like, "Hey, will you help me draft my team?" No, I won't. Because if it goes
mean.
Because if it goes poorly, guess whose fault it is? It's mine. And if it goes great, Guess who gets 0 credit? Me. I will not help you draft.
No, then that's a
your
bad
league.
guy. Like my dad, I don't know if my dad's listening today. Sometimes I'll draft his team for him if he can't make his draft. Or I'll be there with him at his draft and like help him make picks. And he'll never blame me for anything.
I won't do it. I refuse
But yeah,
to help
anyways,
other people.
what I was trying to say is this time of year, like when you're gearing up for fantasy football, it's like an investment. I could like set some money aside for fantasy buy-ins plus my NFL season props.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
We could just not do it.
What am I, a loser?
Let's give one like realistic pick and one long shot pick for each award, starting with the MVP. Josh Allen is your favorite at plus 650. Lamar Jackson is your second favorite, plus 850. And Joe Burrow is your third, tied with Matthew Stafford at plus 900. I think obviously when you go with like, I don't know, Allen's kind of the boring pick, right? Like, sure, oh, you picked Josh Allen to win MVP. Oh.
Yeah, he's the favorite, yeah.
I'll give you one. If we're just kind of going like off the board, other than Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar, because I feel like we now are in an era where
I
it's
figured
like,
you were just going to pick Mahomes as your long shot, which does that count as a long shot?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's plus 1,300.
It's a good bet. Like, it's a great value bet.
I think those guys have had their time to win MVP, and I'm not saying all three of them never win it again. I do think Josh Allen or Mahomes will win another one at some point, but like I think we're searching for other people to win it, and that's exactly what happened last year. Give me for my like realistic one, Herbert to finally get it done. I was
just gonna say that.
Give me Herbert for 10-1. I think that's a great bet.
If they have a great year, like win the division, and he has similar stats to what he had last year, the case is there.
For sure,
the case is definitely there.
And then there'll be more pressure on him in a single playoff game than there's been on any quarterback in the history of the NFL. Because if he loses after winning an MVP, oh my God, you can't bounce back from it with the reputation he already has. So I'll take Herbert as my I don't even think it's a long shot. I think he's got a great shot.
I will say, though, you make a great point about we're kind of searching for a different guy to win the MVP. I think that's why Josh Allen wins the MVP this year. Like, I think it's almost a reset of like, okay, yeah, we gave Stafford the MVP. That was cool. Let's get back to the same three guys that win it every year between Allen, Lamar, and Mahomes.
We're talking value.
Yeah. I like the Herbert value.
No. I'm like the word value. It's Mahomes and Allen every year.
Yes,
you replace those guys with an
Mahomes
average
at 1,300. Like I likely will be having that as a wager. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of Caleb Williams love for this.
I was just gonna say that's my long shot.
No way.
15-1. That's my long shot bet because if they were to overcome,
he's not gonna have He's not gonna have the stats to do it, man.
You think Ben Johnson runs the ball too much?
Runs the ball too much. He doesn't even throw for 4,000 yards. He still hasn't eclipsed that whole thing. He doesn't score rushing touchdowns really. Like
he had 3 of them last year.
3,
yeah, that's not enough. But I'm saying if that final step happens for Caleb Williams and he starts figuring out all the easy stuff and can make the layups, he's a perennial MVP candidate.
Sure, I just don't think Caleb Williams' peak season this year is not even as good as May's season last year. Numbers-wise.
May's advanced stuff was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
the completion
and
percentage
May didn't even
stuff.
Win it, and they kind of like were looking for a reason not to give it to Drake May.
Yeah, maybe Caleb's a year away. I mean, who else would be your long shot bet? Trevor Lawrence at 20-1, who was a top 3 guy last year.
Yeah, I don't mind Lawrence. I mean, I think if Daniels has like a huge bounce back season, I just don't know how good Washington's going to be. That's their only issue.
8 wins.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe Myles Garrett. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, he's not I just don't think Caleb will ever win it. Like, Dak at plus 1,400 doesn't feel like a long shot.
Maybe Mahomes is just your long shot bet. If it's above 10-1, sure, it's a long shot.
Okay, cool.
Man, they really let you bet on anybody to win MVP. You want to bet on Sam Laporta to win MVP at plus 50,000?
Yeah, Roquan Smith, should he win the MVP?
You want to bet on
Laporta
Christian?
Is on here?
You can bet on Christian Gonzalez to win the MVP. What are we doing?
Yep, that makes sense.
Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett is your overwhelming favorite.
Kobe Myers MVP. Yep.
Myles Garrett's your overwhelming favorite at 4-1. Why would they allow? Who is betting on that?
I almost want to place it to make one of those funny screenshots where I have like a real bet underneath it, and I'm like, I really hope this guy wins it, and then up at the top of the screenshot is Jacoby Myers MVP bet. Anyways, Depoy.
Tucker Kraft MVP. You want in? Why did they let you bet on this? Myles Garrett 4-1. Will Anderson, 750. Hutchinson plus 1,000 are your three favorites.
I don't think Myles Garrett wins it.
I don't either.
I just don't. I don't see it. Aaron Donald coming back, if that happens, I think is going to steal a little bit of the spotlight. I don't see him having the type of year that he had. Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously he's not going to have the same type of year he had last year. It was a historical year.
There's just no value in betting him 4-1.
Little bit of voters fatigue, I think, is going to come into play here.
He's won it twice or 3 times?
I think 3 times. Maybe just twice.
I think it's only twice.
But still, I just think that's going to come into play. Will Anderson feels like the right pick.
Yeah, he's won it 2 of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Garrett has. Yeah, I think Will Anderson is the pick there. I think,
but Hutchinson, I don't mind. Like, I'm going to have a Hutchinson tag, obviously.
I already do.
Yeah.
I think Will Anderson is the most likely guy to win it because I think the Texans will have the best defense in the NFL this year, and he probably vaults himself into like leading the league in sacks, very much on the table. I'm going to have a Hutchinson bet as well. I think we are continuing to see Hutchinson grow and grow and grow. There's never been a season in which he has taken a step backwards, and with 14.5 sacks last year while leading the league in pressures, I don't get why 2 more of those pressures can't turn into sacks. 16.5, all of a sudden we are talking about a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So my 2 picks are Will Anderson and Aiden Hutchinson, and I guess Aiden Hutchinson is technically my long shot bet, even though he's the 3rd favorite to win it all. Can I give you one more just like crazy long shot one?
You don't want DJ Reed at plus 40,000?
No.
Yeah, who's your crazy one?
Abdul Carter at 40-1. I think he's actually the best.
Win the depoy.
I'm telling you, it's a super long shot bet.
Super duper long shot.
I think he's better than Brian Burns. I think Brian Burns reaped all the benefits of Abdul Carter last year, and if Abdul Carter can like take that final, not even final step, but kind of outshine Brian Burns this year, this is someone who all the advanced metrics, the win rate, the pressure stuff, it's all there. He just needs the sacks, and I think this is the year he finally like gets himself into the superstar club. Even if he doesn't win depoy.
All right. I think it's not bad to take a DB, too. Like, we've just seen some DBs win it the last several seasons.
Yeah.
And they have crazy juice. Like, the top defensive back is all the way down at Quinyon Mitchell at plus 4,000. Like, yes. I think just taking your favorite DB and picking them is definitely not a bad idea.
Witherspoon.
Kyle Hamilton at plus 5,500.
He is a safety. Like, I don't know when the last time a safety hasn't won it since Troy Polamalu in 2010. If there's going to be a safety to do it,
and it would have to be a year
Hamilton
that
would
the
be
edge
a
rushers,
guy.
there isn't just a crazy edge rusher year. That's the issue. But that's how Pat Surtain won his,
Hamilton or Nick Emanwari would be a good pick if you're just like really long shot taking a safety.
I don't mind the Stingley pick either, honestly.
I think it's going to be the best defense in the league. Jahmyr Gibbs plus 650 to win Offense Player of the Year. Bijan plus 900. Jamar Chase plus 1,000 are your 3 choices. I already have a Gibbs ticket. It was for plus 1,100 or plus 1,000. I don't remember.
Genius.
I think that's my pick.
These are the ones where you can go long shot, though. Like JSN winning it last year.
For sure.
Certainly was a huge long shot.
Yep.
Like, this stuff just happens.
I assume both of us, our realistic pick is just Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, we feel the same way about Gibbs. But, getting Bijan at plus 900, I think, is great value. Like, those guys were similar odds. Puka at plus 1,300 feels really good, just based off the year that he had last season. I don't think the off-the-field stuff is nearly anything to be concerned about with him. It feels like he's pretty locked in at this point.
I mean, Jefferson at 18-1 is just a little egregious.
Yeah, with a new quarterback. Like, finally could have a huge bounce-back season. If I had to go really long shot, like, could A.J. Brown have that type of big season at plus 4,000? Could one of Genty or Hampton have the humongous RB2 or year 2 RB season that we see a lot in the NFL?
You just don't win this award twice.
No one wins the award twice. That's the issue.
And they just don't really give it to quarterbacks anymore?
Did Jamar ever win the Opoy? He did, right? 2 years ago?
Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Actually, he's never won it.
No, Saquon won it over him. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Jamar Chase is just the answer
he's
then.
kind of just due for one. The fact he doesn't have one is pretty wild.
Yeah, I totally would have figured he did.
Do you just want to do Coach of the Year and call it there? Who cares about the Rookie of the Years?
Yeah. Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh's your favorite at plus 650.
Who won Coach of the Year last year?
Mike McDonald, right?
He did? Because I always think it's just the team that is shockingly good, right? Isn't that usually who it goes to?
Last year it was, not Joe Mazzulla.
Right,
Mike Vrabel
yeah.
won it last year.
Yes, of course. That makes sense.
Um,
A lot of first-year guys, of course, are going to be on this list.
John Harbaugh plus 650, Jesse Minter plus 850, Kevin Stefanski. I don't know why
He won a
you would
third
ever
one.
bet
Dude's
on
already
that.
won 2 of them.
Yeah, but like one of them should be on Jim Schwartz's
Yeah.
at-home desk. They had a great defense, and then he won it, even though their offense was pretty mediocre that year in Cleveland. I think John Harbaugh is a terrible bet. If he's the favorite, you don't have any value there, and I'm kind of just zagging hard on the Giants this year. I don't really see it.
It's basically just who do you think the team that isn't supposed to be very good is actually going to be good, right? That's essentially what this is.
Yeah. A lot of times it's first-year head coaches, too. What if...
Like, could Schottenheimer win it? If the Cowboys, win 12 games, it's year 2 for him.
He could.
If the Saints win the division, does Kellen Moore win it? I could absolutely see that,
Yeah.
but them winning the division is kind of tough.
Could Kevin O'Connell's already won it before. That was stupid when he
I was
won it.
thinking about that one, too.
He's already won it.
Yeah.
Um,
What if, hear me
Clint
out,
Kubiak, the Raiders just aren't good enough, right?
what if Kyle Shanahan,
Finally won it?
drags this Niners team to kind of how they did last year?
Concussed Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, to 12 wins, and they're finally you know what? We need to give him one. For this. For everything that happened this offseason with him,
That's not bad.
we got to give him one.
I don't mind that at all.
I think that would be my long
What
shot
if the
pick.
Lions just have 15 wins again?
Well, he didn't win it last time, so I don't think he'd win it this time either.
Dumb.
Stupid.
My long shot would be D'Amico Ryans at 27-1. He hasn't already won it, right? I
No,
don't
but he
think
certainly
has.
was in consideration his first year.
Yeah. All right. 989-837-6125. That's the Ben Bosscher Show. Still got the 11 o'clock hour to get to. I wanted to work some college football playoffs in, so hopefully we can still get to that in the 11 o'clock hour, kind of running behind on topics. But I want to go over what do we want out of the college football playoffs, because it seems like this is inevitably going to 24 teams. So what do we actually want? Nothing pairs better with game day than a nice cold Yingling. Whether you're locked in for kickoff, tip-off, or the final inning, it's got that crisp smooth taste you just can't get anywhere else, and hits just right. Kind of like your team when it's firing on all cylinders. It's one of those simple game day staples. You've got the crew, the TV's up loud, something cold is in your hand, so you are all set. Another round of Yingling, and now it really does feel like a game day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So, who did we decide is our number one guy to heat up for the Tigers this week?
I mean, I still think Riley makes the most sense.
I
made
think
the
it's
case for
Riley.
Dingler. I think that there were some good cases made for Torkelson and Baez. The Kenley Jansen one is good. Nobody needs it more against this specific team than Riley Green.
Nobody needs it more than Riley Green simply because half the fan base hates him for some reason. They expect more out of him. I think an amazing Riley Green series. I mean, like, we keep talking about, okay, what does the best version of a 6-game homestand look like for some of these guys? And for Kenley, it's like multiple saves. And for Torkelson, it's probably 3 home runs. For Carey, it's like a 1,200 OPS and like 9 at-bats. With Riley, it is something like oh my God, this guy hit 350 in 6 games and had 2 home runs and 3 doubles as well. Like, that's the kind of stuff that it is with Riley Green. I think it probably is the player with the most upside, right? In terms of, okay, if we're getting the best version of them for 3 straight games, 6 straight games,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a player with more upside than Riley Green, unless you want to go specifically to a closer with Kenley Jansen, because that has clearly been so important in all of the Cleveland series.
You also are, I mean, it's not like Kenley Jansen is going to pitch every single game.
Correct.
You know?
That's why
Riley
it's
Green
probably
is
Riley.
going to get 4 at-bats every game. So, yeah, I think Riley ends up being the best answer. There's a good case for a lot of other guys, but the fact that he's been bad against Cleveland, too, like that's – because think about what's going to happen if he is bad this week.
Oh,
You know, it's not even just for this series. It's like the conversations we're going to have post this series, if he doesn't heat up, ugh.
because, yeah,
Yikes.
I told you
That season OPS might drop below 800. Like, that would be kind of bad.
Yeah, on the road over those 9 games on the West Coast, 167 average, 580 OPS, 14 Ks, 6 walks. Just so So he really does need a little bit of a boost, which is why I choose Riley Green to be my candidate to heat up this week. Riley Green, I don't know if this will actually work, but this is me sending over my wish to you to light you on fire for the rest of the week. I'm committing arson on Riley Green. Congratulations, Riley Green. I've lit you on fire.
Intentional.
So if he has a great week, you heard it here first. It's because we lit him up.
Plus, worth noting with Riley Green, I'm not trying to continue to dog on him. The strikeout numbers have gotten back to a number that is
Alarming.
like top 15 in the sport now in Ks. But it's still an improvement from last year. I got to give him that. And the walks have been way up. So for sure an improvement. But the strikeouts have been coming back.
When it comes to trees on your property, trust the professionals at Legendary Tree Care. From routine trimming and tree removal to emergency storm cleanup, their experienced team provides safe, reliable service you can count on. That's Legendary Tree Care. They're proud to serve Mid-Michigan with strength, safety, and skill to keep your property looking its best year-round. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live in the mid. College football on the way.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You always be coming without no money, girl. Come on.
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Let's pivot to a little college football, because yesterday, all the important people of the world, all the decision makers, the Tony Petittis, the Greg Sankeys, they all had a video conference yesterday, and here's what they did. They shut down the idea of a 20-team playoff because they are continuously investing in this 24-team playoff. It seems like that's just inevitable at this point. They're working out the calendar, the conference championship games, the dates, all the small stuff. December 1st is the deadline for when they have to decide what the playoffs look like in 2027. 24 teams, great idea. It's an entire 12 more teams than the NFL playoffs. I just can't believe that this is where we're going. I can't believe in a matter of 3 seasons, we're going to go from 4 teams to 24. Instead of going from 4 to 8, we're going to go from 4 to 12. And then we're going to go from 12 to 24. We're going to double the field. There's not 24 teams in the country, Kyle, that can contend to win the national championship every single year. This is purely money motivated. I don't think there's a single fan that wants this. The only people that want it are the commissioners of each conference who can get their schools a ton of money, which, look, man, it's just not good for the integrity of the sport. And I can't believe, it's diluting the regular season. It's taking away from rivalries. It's making the playoffs not mean all that much if there's going to be 20, if the entire top 25 is going to get in. Being a top 25 team isn't all that cool anymore. It used to be so honorable to make the playoffs. You had such a prestigious season if you made the playoffs. And now we're going to let 24 teams into this thing. This is why I have fallen out of love with the sport that I used to love. I used to love 14 playoffs, 5 conference championships this weekend. One of these conference champions is going to miss out on the playoffs. This team can't lose to this team. The winner of this matchup is going to be auto win. If this team beats this team and this matchup goes this way, then we think this team's in. And it was very simple because there was 4 to 6 teams competing for 4 spots. Now there's a legitimate 128 teams competing for 24 spots. And I just think it dilutes the entire product. And it feels like it is just inevitable. We are getting a 24-team playoff as soon as, not this upcoming season, but the next one. It's going to happen, and I'm honestly disgusted by it.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people feel this way, especially with the amount of extra games that are being added and are going to continue to be added. You know, the national championship game is being pushed further and further back. Like, it ended so late last year. We're going to end after Valentine's Day or something next season.
Yeah, it's going to be the week.
I think that was the Super Bowl, but still, it's going to be like the middle of January. I think it's a national championship game next season.
May as well push it to the week before the Super Bowl when there's nothing going on. Seriously, I wonder what people actually want. Like, what does the college football fan out there actually want in their college football playoffs? Because as much as I would love to say, well, let's go back to 4 or let's push it to 8, they're not going backwards. They're not limiting the playoff field. It's only going to get bigger. I would strongly advise you to go to 16 before you go to 24. I would say going to 24 in general is just not a good idea, but look, it's going to happen. If I was tasked with coming up with a new playoff format, they said, congratulations, Ben, you get to decide what's best for college football. Who says no to this, Kyle? This is how conference championships still become relevant. It's how you expand the field to 16, and it's how you don't disclude any one conference. What if the Big Ten had a 14 playoff? The Big 12 had a 14 playoff. The ACC had a 14 playoff. The SEC had a 14 playoff. And then let's say the ACC champion played the SEC champion. the Big 12 champion played the Big 10 champion, and then the winner of each of those games played for a national championship. Who says no to that, to where, based on the regular season standings, at the end of 12 games, and I think this would ultimately lead to a shift to where you're basically playing 11 conference games, you have to. Based on those 11 games, the top 4 teams at the end play in a little 4-team playoff to crown a champion, a representative from each conference. They get put into another 4-team playoff to decide a national championship. I know who the answer is. For who says no, it's Notre Dame. Middle finger to them. I don't really care. I'm not building this with just them in mind.
I mean, there's more people that say no.
Yeah, the Big Ten and SEC.
The Big Ten and SEC say no. We're putting 4 teams from the ACC in. 0 of them made it last year. Well, Miami did, actually, but the winner didn't make it.
I know. I just don't. I look, but this is better than a 2014 play. I'm just asking as a fan, who says no to this idea? You have an opportunity. Oh, there's 2 other SEC teams that are pissed off that they didn't make the playoffs. Guess what? This isn't Little League, man. Not everyone gets a participation trophy. Not every SEC team should make the playoffs every year.
Yeah,
and
but
you have 4 open bids. Just go win enough games to be a top 4 team in your conference, and you get to be a member of a 16-team playoff in this little format that I've created in my mind. But instead, we've got the 9th team in the SEC like, no, we didn't make the playoffs, even though we went 8-4. And for some reason, we're catering to these teams in the middle of the Big Ten and SEC because we want as many teams in as possible when it's just making the sport worse.
So this is what, 5 total games would have to be played here in the playoffs from the champion? I'm trying to do the math there.
Yes.
I think when you say who says no, well, first of all, the TV deals would love this because there's 0 buys. That's what makes this tough. That's the one thing that the 12 team and the 16 team potentially and the 24 team have it going for them is, hey, if you're a really good team, you get the buys. You don't have to play 6 games. Whereas the teams that have to claw their way up are going to play an additional 6 games potentially in the college football playoff. So I think the buys do have to be incorporated somehow just to avoid that, we just played a full 12-game regular season just for the 1 seed to not even get a bye over this other team, blah, blah, blah.
You get the advantage of playing the worst team in your conference.
Of course.
That makes the playoffs.
I think even the college football fans that understand the current aspect is terrible and just everything about college football is bad do agree that, hey, 4 ACC teams do not deserve to make the college football playoff.
Sure.
The SEC is just a much better conference. The Big Ten is just a much better conference. Now, that goes back to a more wider scheme issue that the Big Ten and SEC are too loaded. They shouldn't have done this whole gang up thing, and that's the issue there. But at the end of the day, if you have 4 Big Ten teams making it, okay, our top 4 projected teams in the Big Ten this year, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. Let's just throw Michigan in there. Sure. Why not? So that means teams like USC, Penn State, who am I forgetting? There's other teams that are in that mix there that are just going to be for sure left out that are going to have a chance. Whereas the ACC is going to have Louisville, Duke, Miami.
Not every year for
Georgia
ACC is going to
Tech.
be as bad as it
We're
was
going to
last
have those
year.
4 teams in.
I don't think ACC is going to be as bad as they were last year.
The Big 12 is going to get Texas Tech, who I don't even know who's playing quarterback for them this year. BYU, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just. Whereas the SEC is going to have some major heavy hitters miss it, and so yes, it does zoom out to a bigger issue in the sport. But
counter, if you did this,
it would make them go back.
It would the talent would get dispersed a little bit more throughout the sport and throughout the conferences because it would allow if I go here or if I'm a coach and I want to go to fill in the blank average ACC school, we can build this thing up and have a legitimate playoff chance. All we have to do is be a top 4 team.
Yeah, James Franklin would make the playoff this year.
Correct. Let's recruit hard and sell the idea that we can get to a national championship. All we have to do is win the ACC, and all of a sudden we're in a Final Four. I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not saying this is perfect, but no system that we could possibly come up with would make everybody happy.
That's the issue, because at the end of the day, it comes down to the argument of, do you prefer even that the committee exists at all? Because the whole point of the College Football Playoff Committee existing was to make it different than the NFL, make it different than every other league where the actual games and results of just the record and automatic qualifiers, none of that counts. It is to get the best teams in the playoff. That was always the goal of the committee. And whether or not you believe that they have actually done that or not. They stand on that they have.
Yeah.
That's why there isn't the best 3 teams from this school get in. The best 2 teams from this school get in.
It's why Florida State went undefeated and missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
Because they lost their quarterback, and I applauded that decision because I didn't think they were one of the 4 best teams.
And that's always been the decision of the college football playoff, or the committee. And so now the argument that a lot of people have is just put the top 12 ranked teams in. Just put the top 16 ranked teams in. Well, the issue is the group of people that rank those teams are the college football playoff committee. And so do you trust that they have done the right job of putting the best teams in the playoff or not? Because as cool as it was for James Madison to make the college football playoff last year, and Bob Chesney gets the UCLA head coaching job because of it, which is great. That's kind of the ultimate goal at the end of the day. Was it that cool as a fan to have JMU in it?
Nope.
Was it that cool to have, what was the other team that made it last year? Tulane? I can't even remember.
Yeah, it was Tulane, Boise State the year before.
And both of those head coaches got Power 4 jobs out of it. So, great for them. But
not great for the school.
We don't want those games. No, it is great for the school because they get that national coverage and they get a ton of money from it. And
they get used as toilet paper for 3 hours.
At the end of the day, everyone knows that the smaller schools, unfortunately, I'm an advocate for mid-majors and smaller schools more than anybody. They don't belong in the college football playoff talk.
They should be. I've continued to say this. The mid-majors should be competing for a different national championship.
Yeah.
Give my school, CMU, something to actually
there should be a
contend
group of
for.
5 national championship.
Correct, because there is
What's
no
the point?
world CMU could play Alabama 1,000 times and they will never win a single game against them.
It's no different than if they went and played a FCS school. There's no reason why FBS should not just be broken up again.
Mm-hmm.
It should just be split into 2 different things, the Power 4, and at some point it might just become the Power 2. And so that's what this comes down to. I am in favor of doing the top 12 teams, or however many teams are in the playoff.
Top 24 teams.
Yeah,
Here we
whatever
go.
it is. Whatever the ranking is for that, I'm in favor of that because I do think at the end of the day, the committee's core values of putting the best teams in the playoff is what they have continued to strive for. And I think they've done a fine job of that. I don't think there's been Miami getting in last year was the big whoa. Miami got in.
And then they went to the
after
championship.
losing to Notre Dame, or they beat Notre Dame, whatever it was. And they won to the national championship game. That worked out in their favor. Notre Dame has the automatic clause for them this year, whatever. That's stupid. Get rid of that too. Just put the best, whatever amount of teams are in the playoff, put the highest ranked teams of that in.
Well, if it's 24 teams, we're right back to square one where it's these teams at the bottom, there's just not, to my point, there's just not 24 teams that can win the national championship in any given season.
No,
so what on
never
earth is the point of having 24 teams in the playoffs? I would say there's not even 12 teams.
March Madness is so fun. We want to make it like March Madness.
Basketball's so much different than football,
Yeah, this is football.
A 16 seed can get hot from 3 and change the outcome of a game, but I'm sorry, man. Tulane's defensive line is not holding up against Georgia's offensive line. It's just not going to happen. It's totally different. It's why upsets are a lot harder to come by.
There can't be a Cinderella story in college football.
Can't happen.
There cannot be, especially now that we are in the NIL era, and it's something that a lot of people hate about the sport or whatever. You just have to accept it.
And I think the committee's always done a good job of putting the 12 best teams in. Obviously, there's been decisions I disagree with, and there's been decisions that I do agree with. But we are so far into this is just professional football at the college football level. The fact that the players are getting paid, the fact that we're expanding the playoffs, the fact that we're trying to get as many teams in, and it's solely based on the money. I'm done with the committee, man. If we're going to have 24 teams in the playoffs or 16 teams in the playoffs, I'm done just selecting let's get these guys' opinions. Let's do it based on some standings. Wins and losses, fine. If what can't happen is, we're going to do it based on a committee, but this win's more valuable than this win, and the wins have to matter. So this team that went 11-1 should get in over this team that went 10-2 because they had more wins. But I'm done with all those.
But the 10-2 team had a win in week 2 that is graded higher than the conference. If
you're gonna have 24 teams in the playoffs, I'm done with all that nonsense. Yeah. It was great when there was 4 teams because you could actually have legitimate debates about it. It would have been fine with 8 teams, but going 11-0 doesn't I don't. I just want it based on standings now. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm done with opinions in this.
I have a solve. This is what I would do for the current 12-team playoff. I don't know if this is how I would do it for now, which I don't think it's that bad right now anyways. I do think that the Big Ten and SEC get 4 automatic qualifiers. The top 4 in the Big Ten and SEC are in. There's 8 teams.
Get ready for Greg Sankey to be like, well, we deserve 9.
Sure. The winner of the Big 12 and the winner of the ACC are in. Automatically in. Conference champion. To make the conference championship, means something. They are in. So, yes, last year Duke would have made the playoff. I don't care. The ACC had a historically bad year. It's not going to happen again.
Agreed.
Those 2 teams are in. Then you have 2 wildcard spots. Instead of giving 2 of, one of them's a group of 5, the other one's the highest ranked other conference champion. No, there's just 2 other open spots. If there's 2 other SEC teams that didn't make the top 4, that they feel the 2 next best teams, they're in. If Notre Dame had a great year, then they're in. If there is this group of 5 team that went 12-0 and had a crazy win over a really good Power 4 team, then they're in. That's how I would do it. Make the conference championships matter, and your 4 byes go to the conference champion winners. When they took that rule away, I was so upset.
Sure.
I don't care that Boise State, everyone's mad Boise State gets a bye. Make the conference championship matter. Because once they took that away, no one even played in those games. It was stupid. That used to be my favorite week of the college football season. I loved conference championship weekend.
So did I. 14 playoff, that was the best weekend of the entire year.
It was the best, man, because trying to do all the scenarios in my head of like, what if they lose to them? And
it was a noon game, a 3 o'clock game, a 5 o'clock game, an 8 o'clock game.
And the implications on what it meant
game.
for the playoff, that's like my favorite time of the year.
It's the golden era of college football in my mind. The 14 playoffs, college championship weekend. I remember watching it with my friends every single year.
Yeah.
It'd start out with the Pac-12 it'd start out with the Big 12 at noon. The Big 10 was usually like 7. The SEC was on at 3:30. The Pac-12 was on at night as well. And it was just the most electric day of college football the entire season.
I agree because I've always stood on the take that even with this 12-team playoff, it's still better than them just picking the 2 best teams to play for the national championship. I've always felt that way. And obviously it's better than when they just said, "Oh, that team's the champion."
Now is it
instead of playing for anything? But it's starting to reach a point where maybe it's not.
Is a 24-team playoffs better than just hand selecting 2 teams and having them play for a national championship?
The BCS?
Because I would argue that actually might be better. Just selecting the 2 best teams. Because more often than not, the 2 best teams separate themselves by the end of the year. Oh, Indiana and Ohio State. Yep, you guys are playing for a national championship.
It also forced you to play good teams so that you could stand out.
Yeah.
And it made every single game extremely valuable.
And now it's like, you went 8-4?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Ohio State can lose the game against Michigan and still win the national championship.
Oh, no. You don't get it. Ohio State can lose the game against Michigan, Oregon, and Indiana and still make the playoffs. Why even watch the regular season then? Seriously. 24 teams is insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yet it's inevitable. It's happening. And I hate it. 989-837-6125, 11 o'clock hour is brought to you. But you know what? You know it should have been on my hate list to open up the 2014 playoff. That's insane.
Just the world of college football.
989-837-6125. Life happens fast, and at Yater Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned, trusted in Midland for decades. They treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yater is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can talk to. That's Yater Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Man, I hate the Cleveland Guardians. I hate them so much, and I can't wait to play them tonight. That's kind of like, that's the thing, man. You know, as much as we hate certain teams, the Packers, the Guardians, players like Aaron Rodgers, Josh Naylor, all of which made the Tuesday Tower, it's good to have those people in your life, you know? It's good to hate sometimes. Sports hate. It's a little different than regular hate. But
I'm excited to hate this week.
I know.
It's been a while since I've done that, and maybe I'm just like
it's
really
healthy.
Maybe I'm really gearing up for it because football season is finally here, and that's when my hate really starts to come out. But yeah, I'm pumped to hate, man. Maybe we're bad guys. I don't know.
I don't think we are. I think you need this sort of rivalry in your life to, like, even in like our like rec leagues at the community center. It's like, yeah, I can't wait to play these guys tonight. These guys piss me off.
Yeah, when I play hoops, it's a little different.
What do you mean?
Like
you just do the Jordan thing?
I will just hate whoever I'm playing.
Yeah, you do the Jordan thing. You just make stuff
I can't really
up.
help myself from like,
oh, this guy was talking about my mama.
Like talking smack. Yeah, even if I'm trying not to,
You're
just
a trash
comes out.
talker when you play pickup?
When I play like in a real game, yeah.
That's really surprising, honestly. Yeah. I would not have guessed that.
Like I'm a low key trash talker. I will keep it low.
I don't say anything. I don't talk.
Oh,
I only ever talk to my
teammates. Played in my hoops league the other night for the first time in a while. Sunday night, yeah, I was talking.
But aren't those your friends? I think it's a little different when they're your friends.
They're not all my. I mean, they're people I know. But yeah, it is different when it's random people. But I still will.
See, I'm not like a trash talker by any means, but I am. I think I'll talk more than anybody on the court to my teammates on defense. I'm like, elite level communicator on defense.
100%. You got to be, and if you're not, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. People respect that, man. When you start talking on defense, it gets everyone kind of playing on a string. Everyone starts talking a little bit. You start to communicate a little bit better. The rotation gets. And if you're doing that in pickup basketball, all of a sudden you got something special going on defense. It's going to result in getting some points on offense. I think it helps you down there because then you start kind of just reading each other a little bit more. Anyway, that's pickup hoops for you.
Yeah.
Pickup hoops 101. I do think it's enjoyable to hate on the Cleveland Guardians, and that's what we're going to do here tonight, starting tonight. 0-5 against them so far this year, which is just, I hear that stat and my blood starts to boil a little bit. We need to win. And I can already tell you how these games are going to go. It's going to be like 1-0 going into the 8th inning. Whoever has the lead, I don't know. It's going to be 1-0, and somebody's going to have to make a play in the 8th or 9th inning. There's going to be some sort of error at some point for the Tigers. It always seems to happen. Cleveland's going to hit a bunch of bloop singles. Every single Cleveland Guardians versus Detroit Tigers game, I swear, has the exact same blueprint. And it all comes down to the 9th inning every single time. Every time. No doubts about it.
Is there any world where the Guardians would pass the Packers for teams you hate? Ever?
I don't think so.
Even if like you matched up against them in the playoffs again?
And lost?
Well, I don't know if you win or lose. I don't think that really matters. I think you're going to hate them either way.
I think there's something special about only playing the Packers twice a year. Like there's 2 dates the entire, whereas Cleveland, you're playing 4 series against them, 12 games. So like, I don't want to say it because baseball's so different. It devalues it a little bit. They annoy me more than Cleveland, or I would say the Guardians annoy me more than the Packers do. But there is like a true deep down hatred towards the Green Bay Packers that I don't necessarily have for the Guardians as much as it's like a fly that won't quit bothering me.
I always thought that first game post Aaron Rodgers against the Packers, not that I thought that like the hatred was going to go away.
I was Thursday night game?
Yes, the Thursday night game. I was a little bit just like,
the David Montgomery 30 carries. Is this going to be weird?
Is this going to be like, I don't really hate the Packers that much?
No.
And that obviously did not happen. Then they beat them on Thanksgiving. And then the following year was the big one when they played the Packers for the first time because it was at Green Bay. I vividly remember this game. This was the Brian Branch, like big time.
The middle finger game.
The middle finger game, yes. And this was the Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like they really started to embrace it. You know, the F Green Bay thing.
They started playing with their food.
Him and his brother. Well, the Lions won though.
I know. They started playing with their food. Like we own these guys so much that we can stand on our heads in the end zone.
And it was the best.
The best thing ever. Yes.
That game at Green Bay in 24 like was my favorite one post the final Aaron Rodgers one. Obviously.
Remember what happened when they came back though? That was the game where our fans started chirping at Matt LaFleur walking off the field with the national anthem.
Right.
The people holding the flag got in his head, and it totally worked. Oh, that was such a great 4-game stretch. And then obviously what happened last year with the Packers opening week and then on Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, was about as terrible as it could possibly
It was
be.
as bad as it could get, and that's, and obviously I think Micah Parsons has added into the rivalry as well, just like the Lions did.
He's got a really high IQ,
Yeah,
though.
he does
Higher
have the above IQ. He has a really above IQ
compared to other edge rushers
whatever
in the
he's
league.
however he phrased that. But it certainly has helped the rivalry in a sense. So yeah, tying this all back to the Tuesday Tower, I think this might be your best Tuesday Tower yet from an accuracy standpoint.
Thank you.
I think Green Bay is just 1,000% at the very top. I think Ben Johnson's the only one where I'm like, yeah, I think he's a lot more hated than some of these other characters on here. And
I'll just always be like, it'll always be in the back of my mind that Ben Johnson stayed longer than he had to. And it ended up being the season in which they won.
Did he, or did he
15
just
games.
always want to go back to the Bears? Or like always go to
better
the Bears with
situation.
Caleb Williams?
I don't know if it was Bears specific. I think he just didn't want the Washington job.
And it
I
was
don't blame
clearly
him.
the best situation.
The Bears one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Carolina was obviously always the other rumored team.
Yeah. I just think as soon as Ben Johnson beats the Lions, that's when he starts flying up the list. But until he does that, he's almost like little brother. He's a little bro to Dan Campbell right now. So like, how much can you really hate on little bro? He's annoying, but like, I don't hate him. You know,
Yeah.
I'll hate him once he starts beating us.
But winning the division right away was just like,
Yeah, but the Lions can't blame the Bears for that one. That was more of like we shot ourselves in the foot in multiple
I'll never
different
forget.
ways.
It's why I will not ever rank, at least for now, Ben Johnson as a better coach than Dan Campbell. When the Bears had a chance to win the division on their home field after the Lions season was literally over, they'd been eliminated from the playoffs,
They rolled over.
and they lost to the Lions. And they got lucky that the Packers also lost, and they still won the division.
No, they completely rolled over in that game. Lions, when they have nothing to play for, maybe the most dangerous team in the NFL under Dan Campbell.
That's a good point.
Rainey's Green Thumb, they've been proudly serving the Midland area with family-owned friendly service since 1982, offering everything from fresh floral arrangements and vibrant house and outdoor plants to expert landscape and interior plant service. They also design, maintain, and install beautiful gardens, ponds, trees, shrubs, helping both homes and businesses thrive with greenery that lasts. Visit Rainey's Green Thumb at Poseyville Road and bring brilliant color, life, and inspiration to your space this season.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. On 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's make sure we got all the news in. Kyle Sandel, take it away with the mid-morning catch.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Okay, back in the news. We had some big news break this morning with the Pistons. Before we get to that, though, let's look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The Loons are back at home tonight. It's the second to last. I think I phrased that right. The second to last homestand of the season. 6-gamer starting tonight. They're taking on the South Bend Cubs, who won the Midwest League West in the first half. So it's going to be a pretty good matchup. A ton of good theme nights as well. 80s night. You got Grit Night. You got the Wrestle thing that Ben is super hyped about.
Wrestle-Loon Mania.
Peanuts Day. Man, it's just everything's going on at the ballpark this week.
For Grit Night on Friday, we're giving away some cool stuff. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I saw that. Like a Hutchinson bobblehead, I think, is one of them.
Really? For Grit Night, we've got a signed, I think that's a signed JMO helmet, a Jared Goff jersey, a Jared Goff, like, a picture that's, like, framed in a cool way.
Okay.
Hutchinson bobblehead. Yeah. So I'm excited for Grit Night. I'm going to wear my Panay Sewell jersey.
Ooh, I got to wear a jersey, too.
You got all the Lions jerseys.
I don't know which one to wear. I got way too many.
Name them. Tell me the ones you got.
I got the Branch and St. Brown black one. I got my fake Jared Goff jersey, which is actually a Gary Danielson jersey, but it's my favorite one to wear because it's 16, super throwback. Sue, I got the JMO.
Waymo. You have a white one?
No, I don't have a white one. I need to get a white one.
Are you going to get a
But I might get
rivalry
if the
jersey
Rivals one is cool, I'll get one.
We should be getting those
It has
soon.
to be cool, though. Which, speaking of that, we can throw that into the news right now. The Lions posting this morning that they will be wearing their new rivalry uniforms against the Vikings on November the 1st. That game against the Vikings is what, week 7? It would be their 7th game played of the season, so week 8 it is. But that's at home. We haven't seen the rivalry jerseys yet. This was a new thing that the NFL introduced last year. Each division from each conference, or one division from each conference, gets them every year. This is the NFC North season. So excited to see what the Lions throw out there.
Yeah, there were some hits last year. There were some misses last year. So the Lions posted that, and it was like a midnight blue navy background, which makes me think maybe they're going like really dark blue for these uniforms, which would make sense because I think the Vikings would go light, or maybe they'd go yellow, which would be pretty gross.
Well, do the Vikings wear them against us? Like, do they wear them in the same game, or is it only something you wear at home? I really don't know.
I don't know.
I think you will both wear them in the same game, actually. That would make sense.
Either way, like the midnight blue I thought was a cool, because I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be like ice blue, like Iceman blue. So it's like way lighter blue. But no, it looks like, my guess would be based on that Lions post, it's going to be really dark.
We will certainly see. More Lions stuff, Covenant Healthcare, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine Injury Report. We obviously got the news yesterday as far as Cade May is going down for the Lions. Jared Goff speaking on it yesterday. He said, quote, "It stinks. He was doing such a good job. It was kind of a freak deal how it happened. I know he'll work back to get back out here. And as far as the guys that are the front runners to take his job, Drew Scruggs was the guy that Ben talked about immediately right away. And it sounds like Seth McLaughlin, who was a former Ohio State center, has been a guy that has been stepping up in training camp even before this Cade Mays injury. And it seems like he's absolutely going to be in the mix to take that starting center spot.
Do you know who he is?
What do you mean? Do I know who he is?
Do you know who he was in college?
I just said he was a former Ohio State center.
Do you know who he was before that?
No.
He was the infamous Alabama center who couldn't snap the ball to Jalen Milroe in the Rose Bowl against Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's him?
He also won best center in college football that same year.
Yeah.
But yes, that is him, the one who could not do a shotgun snap to.
Then
luckily, Goff's not in the gun all that much.
Like on that final play where they decided to do quarterback power from the 6-yard line or whatever it was.
Yeah. They ran out of plays, and then Nick Saban retired.
All because of that center. Maybe we don't want him to take the job. How about Drew Scruggs take that job? Tarek Skubal, he pitched last night. Gave up 3 runs through 5 against the Royals. He was mad when he got pulled out of the game. Dodgers fans are mad too. Oh, man, he's only pitched 11 innings through 2 starts for the Dodgers. The Dodgers did come back and win, though, so of course they did.
He didn't get a win, though.
I put this in the news. Where is Justin Verlander? That's all I put.
Nobody knows.
That's all I put in the news. I don't have any update for you because nobody does. This was the thing I did actually want to get to. Maybe I should have pulled the audio clip of this because it was a bit long. On Foul Territory on MLB Network. It's a pretty good show on MLB Network. But AJ Pierzynski says, talking about the Tigers' chances of making the wild card, I figured this would make Ben's blood boil a little bit. Quote, it would be bad for baseball if they made the playoffs after trading away Skubal and Mize.
So
Not a knock
be a
on
good
Scott
reason.
Harris or AJ Hinch. It would be remarkable if they did it. But they just traded away 2 of their best players, and if they get in, that just shows you how bad the American League is. I think that's a bad precedent to set. If you want teams to try and be rewarded for trying, not doing the opposite.
Who said this?
AJ Pierzynski, who has done a couple broadcasts with Jason Benetti this year. He does the Peacock games on Sunday Night Baseball sometimes. He was on Fox's coverage last year.
I've got no comment.
He did the whole Tigers-Mariners series.
I got nothing. It's just one of the dumber things about it. If it's bad for baseball, I don't care.
If you think if that's your take, then listen to the 3 p.m. show. Let's do 2 more things in the news. Lions preseason TV broadcast team. Speaking of Jason Benetti, he's back on it. It's Benetti and TJ Lang to do the preseason. It seems like Benetti's going to miss the opening game on this Thursday, but he will be doing the rest. That's pretty exciting. Bryce Underwood, couple Michigan things. He feels people are sleeping on Michigan, and he says their goal is to be hoisting the national championship trophy at the end of the season. I feel like those are good things you want to hear your quarterback saying.
Yeah, good job, Bryce.
Here's things that your head coach you don't want to hear saying, though. Kyle Whittingham was asked about his comments he made about not hating Ohio State for Big Ten Media Day. He says, quote, well, do we have a better chance of winning if I hated them? I don't understand. Whatever gives us the best chance to win, I'm all for it. I want to beat them worse than anybody. Trying to please the people now.
Yeah. Look, I think the season just needs to start.
Yeah, we're certainly just like reading too hard into this. We'll do one more thing, and then we'll end it back with that Pistons opening night slate. But I wanted to talk about the Jokic stuff. Nikola Jokic could be leaving the NBA. Here's what we got. There's a team in Greece called, I'm not going to say this right, Panathinaikos. Yeah, just no way I'm saying that right. Made a serious Jokic offer this offseason. Dimitrios, long last name, the Greek businessman who owns this team, said he made a proposal to the Denver Nuggets to buy Nikola Jokic out of the final season of his current NBA contract and believes that he can pry Jokic away next summer. Jokic is eligible to become a free agent next season because he has a player option next year. He can opt out of it. And this owner is essentially saying he will offer him a contract so lucrative that he will refuse to, or he can't refuse it. It will be paying out the final year of his deal, plus on top of it paying, hundreds of millions of dollars to bring him to Greece, where he hopes to have him join his team. and
Plus a
leave the
deal
NBA.
with Daktronics and a deal with Aspiration.
They don't have to do all that
I know.
to get him to go there. They can just give him crazy money.
Adam Silver better be doing that to keep Jokic in the NBA. Hook him up
Absolutely.
with
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Look, if Adam Silver loses Nikola Jokic, who is still one of the three
Obviously,
best players
Greece
in the NBA,
and Serbia, they're kind of there's a little bit of a gap there, but very close to each other.
if Adam Silver loses Jokic, he should be exiled from being involved in NBA executive decisions. You can't lose Nikola
that'd be
Jokic.
bad. Gary says, does this sound like the birth of basketball's live golf? Oh, I hope not. That'd be bad if it got to this point. So we'll see. Like I said, Jokic is eligible to be a free agent next offseason, so
He would be the
terrible.
guy. He'd be the guy.
Yeah, he is the guy. I mean, he always has said he hates basketball, and he goes back to Serbia for the entire offseason every year.
Doesn't say he hates basketball. He just
Yeah.
says it's work. Yeah. Do you like going to work, brother? No, you'd rather sit at home.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. Pistons, they're going to be tipping off the 2026-27 NBA season. First game of the year. It's at 3 p.m. They're hosting the Boston Celtics on that Tuesday. Very exciting, to be followed by Sixers, Knicks, and then Thunder, Spurs. So triple header to kick off the NBA season this season, starting with your Pistons.
There we go. That's the news. Thank you, Kyle. 989-817-6125. I don't know what that was. I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about technology. That's why I trust Link Technology in Midland. They handle all the complicated stuff like IT support, cybersecurity, cloud solutions, networking, so I don't have to stress about any of it. Whatever your business needs, their team knows exactly what to do, and they make it easy to understand along the way. Link Technology, the experts who keep your business running smoothly so you can focus on what you do best.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Show built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
We have 4 traditions to close out every show.
What?
The first of which, we are trying to make a little bit of money. I call it the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Did not hit yesterday. Ugh.
Yeah, the Brewers
Did not win. So bad starts of the week and just a bad 2 weeks in general. It's 2 losses in a row. I think that's 4 of the last 6 that we've lost. Something like that. Something like that. So today we're going with the Tigers money line. It's hate week. They're playing Cleveland. They have to win. -124. They have to win. That's my reasoning behind it. They cannot lose this game for my own sanity, for themselves.
Are you saying this is a must-win game?
I'm saying this is a must-win series. Yeah,
Wow.
I am.
Wow.
Taylor fade.
I mean, if I faded this,
That'd be evil.
I would maybe be kicked off the show before it ended.
Probably.
So I am going to tail this one, I think. Tigers are -120 on the money line today, by the way. So despite it being Drew Anderson bump day and Tanner Bybee, who just kills the Tigers, I guess the books like how the Tigers have been playing. But you got to remember, though, it'd be bad for baseball if they won this game.
Right, for sure.
Cleveland does it. The team that spends zero money, and anytime a player gets any good, they trade him away because they don't want to pay him. They should get in because that's good for baseball.
And that
Idiots.
is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Time to do something that we should not be doing, Kyle. Scoreboard watching. Yesterday, here are the games that mattered. Scoreboard watching. Boston defeated Toronto. Toronto defeated Boston 2-1. Scoreboard watching. Minnesota defeated Baltimore 9-5. Minnesota obviously in the wild card race and the AL Central. Scoreboard watching. Texas unfortunately picked up a win yesterday, going up against the worst team in the league, the Angels. They won in extras. Scoreboard watching. Which made the Tigers 1.5 games out of a wild card rather than just one. Scoreboard watching. Houston, they defeated San Francisco. That's another team in the wild card race. But right now they lead the American League West. Today. Scoreboard watching. Today, all those same matchups are happening again. Seriously. Baltimore, Minnesota, 7:40. Texas, Los Angeles on ESPN at 9:40. Houston, San Francisco at 9:45. And there you have it. That is scoreboard watching. Next tradition we have is our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I'm going to the W today, man.
Wow, out of all these games you just ripped off.
100%. The Fever play the Liberty today, so you got Cunningham, you've got Ionescu, you've got, of course, Caitlin Clark, who I believe is serving her suspension tonight, but I don't even think it matters because this Sophie...
Then why would I watch it?
This Sophie Cunningham stuff is it's like watching Friday Night SmackDown. It's hilarious. This isn't... She got clotheslined her last game that she played. And then ended up being a flagrant 2. They ejected the other player from the game. Her coach didn't step up and defend her. Said that the other player was playing really hard. She didn't think it was an egregious play. Didn't think she intentionally went towards the neck. She gets booed every time she touches the ball now. Sophie Cunningham does. This has become... I feel like I'm watching WWE on Monday or Friday nights now when the Fever are playing. It's become You always say the Tigers are the best television on. Like reality TV couldn't write it up better than the Tigers. This does feel like a reality TV show watching the Fever play. And you get good basketball with it. So I'm going with
Clark's
the Fever
actually
tonight.
suspended. I thought that she was like got it rescinded or something.
Did she?
Hopefully not. I mean, if she was playing, I'd be in. But I'm not going to tune in to watch a bench player who averages 9 points a game. You know?
She is playing tonight.
Okay, yeah. Then sure. Why not? I'm not tuning in for no Sophie Cunningham.
I feel like there's a 50-50 chance we see some sort of fight every single game I turn the Fever on. It's awesome. I love it. All right, that's our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
I hate Cleveland, man.
Last thing that we have is
God, there's so many traditions. He forgot about all of them.
predicting what Colin Cowherd is going to
There you
open up
go.
his show with. Neither of us got a point yesterday? No,
Wrong.
you got a point yesterday for
I got
Caleb
a
Williams.
point.
Sniped.
a point because Colin Cowherd went to the Bears training camp and he goes, Caleb Williams, by the way, he's got it. I just see him walking around. He's the man. Okay? All right. It is your turn to go first today, Ben. We're tied up at 68.
Talking
Talking about script writers, no one could write the guessing Collins open scoreboard better than us.
We're dead even.
68 all. Like, that's crazy.
I'm going to go with the fact that LeBron's playing on Christmas and opening day, and he's still, like, the Sixers and LeBron are still the biggest draw in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Even at age 40.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that pick. I think I'm going to go back to the NFL. I just need to figure out what pick I'm going to go with. He never really talked about like the Max Crosby, Kirk Cousins thing. Maybe that should have been something. This WNBA stuff maybe has a chance.
It's so good.
I'm instead, though, going to rock with, I'm going to go back to the 49ers. I think he does another re-up on the 49ers today. Just about everything that's going on over there. Seems like a pretty popular topic right now in the NFL. So I'll rock with that. I don't love it. I like your pick a lot more. But that's what I'm going to do.
You mean the 49ers who have the electromagnetic field that's zapping people's
The electric
ACLs left and right?
substation, yeah.
The same team where their coach has a concussion? That team? Oh. Where Deebo Samuel's heavily relied upon to be one of their top receivers, and Mike Evans is their other top guy? That team?
That team.
Oh. And George Kittle's already hurt?
That team.
And McCaffrey's dealing with injuries now? That team?
That team. McCaffrey's dealing with injuries too? Yeah, that's why we're doing this. See, you're
had
talking
some
about
sort of
too.
tightness in his leg where they kept him out of practice. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Appreciate you listening. Have fun. Hate watching the Cleveland Guardians tonight and rooting for the Tigers because this is a must-win series if they want to get themselves within playoff contention. It would be such a blow if they could not pick up a series win against Cleveland here. So go Tigers. Most important stretch of the entire season. We'll be watching. Come join us at Dow Diamond this week. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. See you guys then.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.